Michael Jackson had just died. It says I'm responsible for 40 million pills. The doctors who wrote the scripts aren't responsible, but the security guy is. One of the FBI agents walked up to me and was like, listen, if you do this for us, you would not have to go to prison. So where we left last time, I just finished getting sentenced to 14 years for my role in American Pain, pill mills in South Florida with the George brothers. When we were in the sentencing, the judge asked the prosecutor if I was going to come back for cooperation and get a Rule 35, which I wasn't, but the prosecutor said I was. And the judge was like, okay, Mr. Nolan, I'm just going to give you this 14 years. And I hope to see you back here someday to get this time knocked off, get your Rule 35. And I was like, what? Okay, but it really didn't hit me because what had just hit me was my whole world just crashed. 14 years, you know what I mean? I was expecting to go in there, get to 108 at the most, 108 months at the most. So we walked outside and everybody was out in front of the courthouse. The prosecutors, the FBI agents, all these people were out there. And one of them walked up to me, one of the FBI agents walked up to me and was like, listen, Dr. Cadet, she's one of the big 5 doctors at the main American Pain Clinic. She had originally cooperated, but now she's withdrawn her plea and was going to take it to trial. And she was like, the FBI agent was like, we need to talk to you because we're going to need you to testify against her. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing it. She was a good friend of mine. Like,
right.
I got her kids Christmas presents. They gave me 4 months or something to turn myself into prison. That was in December, and they gave me till March, right? Mm-hmm. They said, you'll get a letter in the mail telling you what prison to report to. So anyway, it was like right before Christmas. And I got a call from them, and they were like, we need to talk to you. And I had to go down to Fort Lauderdale to the ASUA's office again. And they laid out, they were like, listen, Dr. Cadet, she pulled her plea, and she's going to be going to trial. So the trial's going to be in June or something like that. So we're going to need you to testify, and we need to start preparing you. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. When they came to me to talk about Dr. Cadet, like, we're going to charge her with 50 murders, something like that. And they're like, if you do this for us, it could be anywhere from 50% off that 14 years to you just going home, not even having to go to prison. I asked them, I said, what did you get? What the other doctors offer did you give the other doctors? And they were hesitant to tell me that, what the other doctors, the deal that they got, you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, I just can't do it. And they were like, well, listen, we offered the other doctors, laundering $10,000, and they got 78 months. They're going to get the drug program. They all say that they were on the pills too and this and that, so they're going to qualify for that. They're going to go to a camp. And I was like, well, if they went to trial, if those doctors went to trial, is that all they would get? And they were like, no, if you guys went to trial, we're going to put all these murders on all of you guys. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, how about you let me talk to Dr. Cadet? And they were like, oh, no. And I'm like, well, if I can talk her into give me a little better deal.
Right.
Let me talk to her. Because me and Dr. Cadet, up until maybe 2 months prior to this, we still texted all the time and talked, and you know what I mean? And at some point when I took the plea bargain, her lawyer told her she couldn't talk to me anymore, right? And I was like, listen, I'm not going to testify against you. So but I totally understand that. You know what I mean? I was like, I can't testify against you. I already gave my 302 for claiming your innocence. But whatever. I respected her wishes. So they were like, the feds were like, I don't know about this. And my attorney was with me. This is the new attorney that they just gave me, right? Cuban guy, whatever. And he was like, how about I call Dr. Cadet's attorney and set up a meeting at like a neutral place. I go with Derik. Her attorney comes with her. We sit down, talk it out. Derik can lay it out for her. And they're like, tell you what, if you accomplish this, you guys can do this. If you accomplish this, we'll knock 33% off your sentence. And I was like, it's deal. I guess that's it. So they set up a meeting. It was like literally, it was in 2 weeks, within 2 weeks of my sentencing. So we go to actually end up going to Dr. Cadet's office. Her attorney and her other attorney is her sister, right? She's like a real estate attorney, but she's sitting, what do they call it, first chair or something like that, right? And my attorney. And we go into the conference room, give each other a hug. How you doing? This and that. And her attorney, the main one's like, all right, I'm out of here. And he leaves. And my attorney's like, all right, man, I'm out of here too. I'll be outside waiting for you. And I'm like, well, I thought that
they were going to be there together.
Yes, I thought so. It was just me, Dr. Cadet, and her sister, right? And I'm like, listen, I'm really sorry about all this shit, but listen, they're throwing all these murders at you. And I was like, they're trying to force me. They're offering me to go home or 50%. And I'm like, I got 15 years, 14 years.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, and I told her, listen, I already gave my statement about you a year ago, and I can't change that now. You know what I mean? So if you take this, you know what I mean? You're going to go to a camp and you're going to be you're probably going to go to a camp for a few months and then go to a halfway house as far as women. You know what I mean? As far as women always get it
a little bit easier.
Yeah. Like, so we talked for a while and her sister like started getting mad, right? At me. And like, I'm like, listen, I'm not here to hurt you, right? I want what's best for you. Everybody's going to be a doctor again, right? But at the same token, those doctors cooperated. The rest of them cooperated day one. Day one. And they're not happy about going to prison. They're going to be out in 3, 4 years, 2 years, whatever it's going to be. They don't want to go at all. So all your colleagues
are going to testify against you.
Exactly. And at that point, since I fought them for so long, right? So it was 18 months before I finally like went in. And Chris also fought for a good 18 months, something like that. So we were getting discovery on the case the whole time leading up to taking plea bargains. And in that discovery was like their applications for wiretaps, applications for search warrants, and it would have people's name. They weren't redacted, anything. So it would be the people's names, the witnesses against us. And I was like, listen, there's all these patients that got caught with, they left our office with 240 pills. We're driving back to Kentucky, got pulled over in Jacksonville, and they had 100 pills left. And they're sitting in jail waiting to testify against you to get released, right? And I'm like, yeah. And I read through that, and there was all kinds of stuff about me that was, there was tons of stuff that was true. Don't get me wrong. But there was a bunch of shit that was like off the wall. And I was like, and this is in the media a lot. Like it was on every channel for a long time. And news channel, every day they were giving updates on it. And I was like, they're also like trying to paint us as monsters. So Palm Beach County, it's big, right? But it's all local TV. Everybody knows who we are, right? Like we took over neighborhoods, and now there's a face to go along with that, right? And everybody knows somebody. Michael Jackson had just died.
Right.
The Brittany Murphy chick just died. All these people, and I'm like, this is like in the news every day. I was like, now they have a face to go along with their cousin who died, right? Their son who died. I'm like, they're going to crucify you, right? Like, you're guilty before you even walk in there. And she was adamant. No, I'm not. I was like, all right. So after maybe an hour and a half, I was like, all right, I had to try. I want what's best for you. You know what I mean? I guess good luck to you, And that was it. So I just worked sat at home, watched TV. I didn't want to spend any money. You know what I mean? Or just waiting for that day, waiting for the letter to come to tell me where I was going, right? Spent time with my family. Everybody, you know, it's terrible, man. I woke up, I couldn't sleep. Just this nasty feeling in your stomach, you know what I mean? Like, it's all over. I got 14 years to go, you know what I mean? I'm not going to have a fucking beer and a steak for 14 years. I'm not going to have any pussy for 14 years, you know? Just like, God damn, this is very overwhelming. Said my goodbyes to everybody. It was like a month after that I had to go. My sister and I flew to Baton Rouge, I don't know, somewhere, forget where. We flew in, found an Irish pub, drank a couple bottles of Jameson, crashed at the hotel, and I turned myself in the next morning. So, and, you know, we took a taxi there, whatever, said my goodbyes, gave her my phone. I went in, told them who I was. They said, sit down right there. Like, there was the people at the prison, they wouldn't have cared if I walked out the door. You know what I mean?
Right.
I sat in the waiting room for like 30 minutes. Nobody even talked to me, whatever. And they said, okay, come on back. Took me back, changed me into my prison clothes.
This time of year always makes me rethink what's in my closet. I used to have tons of stuff. Most of it I didn't even wear. Now I try to keep it simple. Fewer pieces, but better ones. Stuff that actually feels good and looks put together without trying too hard. That's why I keep coming back to Quince. Quince makes high quality, everyday essentials using premium materials like 100% European linen and their insanely soft flow knit activewear. Their linen pants are light, breathable, super comfortable, but still look clean enough to wear out. Not sloppy, not stiff, just easy. And Quince costs between 50 and 60% less than equivalent brands. They work directly with ethical factories and cut out the middleman, so you're paying for quality, not some big brand name. For me, I love the plain black t-shirts. They're comfortable and they're perfect for my everyday wardrobe. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/true for free shipping and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. Go to quince.com/true for free shipping and 365-day returns. That's quince.com/true.
And they were like, oh, do you want to take these clothes you're wearing out to your family out there? And I'm like, oh, man, I can leave. Like, the door already shut behind me. Like, no,
Right.
Go ahead. I walked out there in my prison thing,
Right.
handed my clothes, like, all right, I guess that's it. I guess I'm going in. So I went in there. Now, I got arrested on this and released the same day from the courthouse and was in martial custody most of the time, right? So I hadn't been at county jail. I hadn't done a day of county jail. I haven't done a day of FDC time, nothing, right? I was at the courthouse with the marshals, that's it. So when you check into prison, you got to meet with SIS, right? I was just in the room, and it was a woman SIS officer, and she came in, called me into her office, no handcuffs, no nothing. I was like, doesn't seem, you know what I mean? This is pretty laid back. The door's open to the right outside the prison, you know? And I went in there and sat down. She's like, I got your file here, and this is a lot. You know what I mean? And she's like, but here's the thing, like, you turn yourself in, you idiot. I can't believe you flew here and turned yourself in for 15 years, for 14 years, whatever it is. And so I don't have any, and this is a racketeering case, gang related. I'm like, there's no gang, nothing like that. She's like, there's like white supremacy stuff. And I'm like, oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah, that was their whole thing, that we were white supremacists. Even if you watch the HBO movie, it shows a picture of me in the waiting room, and it's like the clinic run by white supremacists and who hired strippers, and it's me standing there like, I'm like, whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
And she's like, so because of all this, we don't know who you run with, who your enemies are. You have a whole list of separatees, right? So all those people that told on me, that ended up, all the other people that were indicted with me that Chris hired or worked at Jeff's clinic, who all pointed the finger at me, who I didn't even know half of these guys.
Right.
They all had separatees on me, right?
But they don't want to see you.
Right. So she's like, you got a bunch of separatees and stuff, and it was right around Easter. So she's like, you have to go to the hole. it's what's called a captain's hold until we figure all this shit out. And it's Easter, so the captain's not here. So you're gonna have to go the whole. I don't know for how long. And I'm like, that's fucking great, right? So I go in there, and the night before, I flew in the night before, and I ate a handful of Xanax. I don't ever take that, but I was just like, whatever. I ate a whole bunch of Xanax. So I was still like, you know what I mean? When I turned myself in, and I'm like, yeah, like, did you take any drugs? I'm like, yeah. Washed down a handful of Xanax with a bottle of Jameson, you know, within the last 12 hours. So whatever, I'm not going to lie, you know? And they're like, oh, yeah, it don't matter. You're going to the hole anyway. So I went in, and I just passed out. I never went to sleep the night before, you know? I couldn't sleep. So I went in, got in. They brought me into the hole. I slept probably the first 2 days. I didn't even eat anything because I had all the Xanax in my system. So I just crashed out. So like I said, I was in there for a couple of days, and it's one of those ones where you don't get out. I couldn't even go to rec my 1 hour rec a day because I wasn't even in the prison system yet. You know what I mean? I just went from R&D to the shoe while they figured everything out. They take you to the shower 3 times a week, right? Scalding hot water, you're handcuffed, all that kind of shit, you know? So a week went by, and I'm still sitting there. I didn't even have a PIN number, right? So I couldn't, you get one 15-minute phone call every 30 days when you're in your shoe. I didn't even have that. So I sat there reading books. I saw somebody hang themselves I'm in my cell, you know, the shoe, got the little window, and I'm directly across is another room with a window, and I'm sitting there laying on the bunk looking out the window, and I see somebody like jump off the top bunk, right? And, you know, just whatever.
Yeah.
Like they're jumping off, and then like 2 seconds later, I see them like swinging, right? I'm like, holy shit. And everybody's banging on the door. They can't even get the guy. He rigged something up with that big light.
Yeah.
Right? That's in there that they leave on 24 hours a day with a sheet. And I mean, I don't think he died, but I was like, wow, this is crazy. So then that happening shut the shoe down, right? So even if the captain was back, he wasn't worried about getting me out of the shoe. You know what I mean?
Right.
Going through my file or whatever. And so it ended up being 2 or 3 weeks or something before they finally kicked me out. And so they come and get me, and they're like, okay, this guy that I was with, you go this way. Nolan, you go to R&D. And
Nice.
I'm like, well, okay. I didn't even think, you know what I mean? I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. I haven't even seen the prison yard yet.
Right.
So I sit in R&D for a while, and they take me to Oakdale 2, which is a medium now. Had a little issue right off. I didn't know anything about prison. Somebody running their mouth about paying them rent or joining their shit. Got into a scuffle. Never thought nothing of it. Whatever.
What does that mean? What phone? What happened?
Nothing. He just came in, and then they have I was in a fishbowl.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Yeah, of course, I know what the fishbowl.
I was in a fishbowl. It's all 2-man cells.
Yeah.
And there was a fishbowl. There was like 12 of us in there.
Yeah, it's like a big room with a bunch of bunk beds.
So yeah, there's like 12 people in there. So you got 6 things of lockers. Your locker's on the bottom, the guy on the top bunks, lockers on top, right? And I was like, I didn't have anything. I had a bedroll.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's it. I don't even think I had any paper or nothing. And I'm like, looking at my new surrounding, like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You know what I mean? Like, this is it, dude. This is fucking crazy. And some guy came in and was like, oh, I heard you're from West Palm or something like that. And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, well, how we get it around here is you're gonna roll with us, or you gotta have to pay commissary or something. I was like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. And he pushed me, and I grabbed him. We went through the 2 locker things. Right. They went over. The guards came and broke it up, and we're like, all right, you go this way, you go that way, kind of thing, whatever. A while later, working out, on a dip bar. Him and his gang, whatever. I didn't see him. However many of them, they came from behind me. All I heard was footsteps. I was on the dip bar doing dips, and they had a padlock on a belt, and they swung it at the back of my head, and it wrapped around and cracked me in the eye. I was like, all right, whatever. I like kind of
is that that's what happened with your eye?
No, that my eye, that shit happened years later.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was just like whatever. Then there was an issue with those guys for a little while until like I made friends with some people, and we ended up getting those guys. There's like 3 or 4 of them. We ran them pretty much. They ran off the yard. I caught a couple of them, one-on-one, this, that, right? I never went to the shoe for it. Once I got a couple of those guys, then everybody else on the compound wanted them gone too, right? So they the rest of them kind of like checked in kind of thing. And I was there. This all happened in like 2 months, 3 months, right? I remember I had a job, like my second day there, I was on the call out sheet and I had a job, and it was kitchen, but I think it said kitchen warehouse, right? So I report the next day at 6 o'clock or whatever time. Yeah, 6 o'clock, because before breakfast. And what my job is crushing cans. So all the cans that they open for the peas and the meat and everything, they throw them in a recycling thing. And then they have outside in the warehouse where all the food gets delivered, they have it's like a can crusher, a hand can crusher. So you take the can, you put it on it, and you slam this thing down.
Right.
Right. And I did that for like 4 hours, right? Just fucking slamming can. Like there was a trailer that you would put maybe a small car on, right? And it was a cage on it, maybe 4 foot up with little slats that you slide the crushed cans in. Like literally fill this trailer up in a couple days, you know what I mean? And then they take it off to recycling. So I remember I had this white uniform, these big black boots on, a hairnet. I remember like after at lunchtime, you go back to your unit and then you got to come back at 1 or whatever.
Right.
And I remember walking back and I was like, I can't believe I have to eat this food, right? For the next 14. Look at me. I'm like looking at myself wearing this ridiculous outfit, right? It was like nobody even spoke my language.
All right.
Right? I was like, I just cannot. Look how I'm living. I'm sharing a bathroom, right? With all these other dudes.
180 other guys.
I sleep in a room with
Well, did you have a cell?
No, at this time I had a.
So it was like the low.
No,
at Coleman?
Nope. It was just like the medium at Coleman. So
okay. So you have your own bathroom. You have a bathroom.
No. So they had cells, and the cells had a bathroom. But since I just got there and I wasn't like designated or whatever yet, they have an overflow room, the fishbowl.
Yeah, the fishbowl.
So I was in the fishbowl, and then there was a bathroom right outside the fishbowl, and they never locked it. So all night that door was open to the fishbowl, and it was right at the entrance of my unit. So you open the unit, and there's a fishbowl with 12, and then everybody else is locked down, you know? And I was like, this is fucking, I can't believe this shit. This is fucking horrible. Right? And so it was like 2 months, right? And I'm sleeping one night and whatever, having a dream. And all of a sudden in my dream, there's like lights shining in my face. And I'm like, what I wake up and there's 2 guards there. And they're like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, you got to be in R&D. You're out of here. You're going to Oklahoma City, back to West Palm Beach. What are you doing here? And I'm like, yeah, right. Very depressed at the time, by the way. You know what I mean? I'm like, rubbing my eyes. I'm like, what in the hell is going on? They're like, get your shit. Don't even worry about what's in your life. I didn't even have it. You know what I mean? I had a pair of sneakers and some shorts by this time. You know what I mean? I've been there 2 months. 3 weeks of it, I was in the hole. So I'm like, what in the fuck is going on? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. They get me to R&D, and they're like, yeah, you got a writ. You got to be back in West Palm Beach by this day. You got to go. The bus is leaving. Everybody else is on the bus. And I'm like, okay. So they changed me out, put me in the bus clothes, right? I'm like, am I going home? Did something fucking happen? You know what I mean? I'm tripping out. I'm like, what is going on? I go get on a bus, and you know how that shit is. You leave at 4 o'clock in the morning, right? And they get you at 2.
Yeah.
You're on the bus by 4, and then you sit there till 6, right? So we're sitting there. The sun starts coming up. They come on the bus again. We're ready to go. They come on the bus, and they're like, Conair flight's canceled. The plane broke down. Something like that. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Right. I have to go back in there now?
Yeah.
Right? I have to go back in there. And they took all my prison uniform, my everything, right? I'm like, well, how am I going to be like, I don't know. It could be a month before you leave again. I don't know. So I had to go. It was like my first day all over again. I had to go in the merry-go-round, go to R&D, go all this shit, go get my clothes again, right? Everybody's like, what's going on? You just got here. Why the fuck are you leaving? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, this is not going to be good, right? So I go through the whole thing. I don't go to work that day. I settle back in. That night, 2 o'clock in the morning, they're waking me up again. You gotta get, yeah, what are you doing? You're supposed to be, we've been calling you all day. And I'm like, nobody called me. I've been sitting here all day, right? Nobody said anything to me. You got to go. And I'm like, okay. So go through the whole process again. They drive us on the bus to Lake Charles military base, right? There's an airfield there, right? They bring us out to the tarmac. There's buses from all the prisons within, I don't know, 400 or 500 miles. I don't know how far. I know they're not supposed to send you more than 300 miles away from your home, but for some reason they sent me 1,200 miles away from my home. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we go to this place. There's buses from 5, 6 different prisons, right? Girls, the whole thing. Everybody's lined up on a tarmac. It's just like Conair. You've been on it, right? Have you been on a plane?
Yeah.
The guys with the glasses and the shotguns walking around the plane, and everybody's in the chains, the belly chains, and all this shit. So I'm standing there looking around, seeing it. All of a sudden, I see one of the doctors, right? Now, he was originally from Georgia, right? So he went to a prison in Arkansas, right? 300 miles from his home.
Yeah.
Right? So he's over here. I see him, not looking at me, right? I see the guy, Drew, from the last episode, the guy that was crying and shit and throwing fits that we were in the same room with that, right? I see him. He was from Kansas. So he's at Leavenworth Camp. So he's on this Conair flight. I see the guy, Ethan, the ex-cop that Chris hired. He is from St. Louis, Missouri. So he's at Four Rivers, something like that.
Right.
He's at this prison. They put everybody up. The 32 other people in my case all got to stay within their range,
right,
within a couple 100 miles. I'm the only one that's 1,000,000 miles away. So I think there might have been another doctor, right? But you know how that is on a plane, right? So they put they bring all the guys on. You can't see shit. You're whatever. We get on the plane, then the girls come on. The girls are in the front, right? Fly to Oklahoma City. And that's when really hit me how serious the Federal Bureau of Prisons is when they fly the plane into the building.
Yeah.
Right?
And the arm comes out and connects to the plane, and you walk right into the prison.
Yes. And
You're
like gigantic hallways with hundreds of guys, and it's set up so like you got the shackles on your legs, so you walk up the stairs and your feet are at the guy's head level. He takes those off you, then you step down to the next level and they take the belly chain off, and then they move the handcuffs, and then they put you in the holding pens where that hold 240 people, the stainless steel,
the
diamond plated with one bathroom and 240 guys that just been traveling for 12 hours fighting over the toilet, and everybody yelling and screaming, and chomos and penitentiary and ADX and everybody mixed together, and you don't know what the Bloods are doing a brr, brr, you know, like what the fuck? This is crazy, right? And it takes forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, you're standing there.
You're standing there for hours and hours and hours. You know, so we landed at Oklahoma at 4:00 in the afternoon. It was like 1 a.m.
Right.
By the time they designate you to a dorm, right? And then you go up there and you have to worry about, is my cellie a chomo?
Mm-hmm.
Is my cellie gay? Is my cellie a transgender? What you know what I mean? They pop the doors in the morning and I come walking out with a freaking tranny, right? With tits. What, you know, it's going to be a problem. You know what I mean? You got to worry about this kind of shit.
I got no commissary.
Yeah.
How are we going to work this out?
Yeah,
No.
exactly. Don't make me take it.
You know, listen, I'll just tell you real quick. I think I might have told you this. When I was in that room, the holding room with the diamond plated shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you can't, there's nowhere to sit.
No.
You can't stay. You're standing up for hours.
Yes.
And I'm standing there. There was a black guy that was in there that, first of all, he looked like he did nothing but work out and take steroids. He's probably 6'1", 6'2", and he had, and I'd never seen this before, he had gold teeth with fangs, gold fangs. I mean, very much what I picture Blade to look like.
Yeah.
Like, he was a comic book Blade, and he was massive. And we're standing there, and there's an old man, probably 60, 70 years old, and they're sitting there, and he's like, he's looking around, and he goes, and he sat there, and what'd he say? He goes, he was looking, he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And he walks over to the door, and he grabs the door to get out. He thinks he's gonna get out of and use the restroom. And we're standing there, he grabs the door, and he goes, turns around, he goes, hey, he looks at the black guy and me, he goes, they got us locked in here. And the guy goes, mm-hmm. And I go, yeah, there's going to be a lot of locked doors, bro. A lot of locked doors.
No more locked doors.
No, and so he walks back over and standing there, and he's just sitting there. And the black guy goes, hey, Pops. He goes, what are you here for? And he goes, I don't even know. I got me a granddaughter, and she's one of them lesbians. And she got her girlfriend, and they asked me if I could take some videos of them, you know, doing lesbian stuff.
Oh shit!
And I went, and so I'm not really.
Yeah.
I've been locked up a few weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm not thinking much. So I'm not thinking he's a cho. I'm thinking that doesn't sound illegal.
Yeah.
Like I looked at the black guy kind of looked over at me like, and I went, and I thought, I don't know if he realized that I was thinking it, and that I didn't catch what was going on. And the black guy goes, how old's your granddaughter? Oh, she's young. She's like 15, 14, 15, her friend's like 14, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh,
too young.
Oh, wait a minute. Like he's like, yeah, and they asked me, and I recorded it, and then they put it on the they put it on the internet, and I don't know what happened, but I didn't do nothing wrong, and so they came and arrested me, and they said that what I did was illegal. And I'm sitting there looking. I'm like, now me and the black guy, like, he's tall. He's looking down at me, and I'm looking. I'm like, I don't know if I'd be telling anybody that.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem like a good thing, you know. Anyway, we had to tell him like the bathroom's over. The toilet's just sitting there. There's no bathroom. It's just a toilet. You know,
in the middle of the room.
Yeah, you just walk over and pee in it in front of everybody. So.
Yeah.
I got stage fright. Like I can't be in front of everybody. So you go into the unit.
Yeah, I get into the unit, and like when I was at the 2, Oakdale too, there was no chomos there,
Right.
right? So this had never even come up. I heard it a couple times, right? So
Oh yeah, because it was a medium.
yeah,
Yeah.
So there wasn't none there,
No,
right? So it hadn't even. This is my first.
Yeah.
When they let you all out at Oklahoma City.
There were the medium in Coleman when I was there. Now I heard it's not this way anymore, but when I was there might have been one or two, and they stayed in a special unit.
Yeah.
Where all the weirdos stayed. Not just weirdos, but just like people that had like schizophrenia and shit like that.
Mental illness.
Yeah. And then they ate last, and they like rushed in, got their food, and left. So like they didn't go to the yard.
Yeah, they were separated from. They had separate yard time, all that.
Totally
shit.
different than the low.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So I come out in the morning at Oklahoma City into the unit, whatever, and I'm like, it's not terrible here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can go outside and watch TV, play basketball. I'm like, it's clean. It's not freaking terrible. The guy came up to me, walked up. He looked like me, but fatter. You know what I mean? A beard, whatever, haircut, whatever. And hey, how you doing? Whatever. And I was like, well, what are you doing here? I don't know how it came up. And I was like, well, what did you do or whatever? And he was like, don't hit me.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, why would I hit you?
Right.
You know what I mean? What? And he tells me he's 19,
Yeah.
right? He's doing 17 years.
Oh, he did something bad.
From what he told me, now I didn't see any paperwork.
Right.
He's already been in for a couple years, for a year at least.
Okay.
He's in high school. He's got a girlfriend. They live Floribama. He lives in Alabama. She lives in Florida.
Right.
High schools are right next to each other, something like that. He's got a girl. They live a mile apart. She's in one state. He's in the other. His girlfriend, she's 17. He's 18. They're sexting, sending pictures of their junk back and forth.
Right.
Her mom finds it, finds out that they're having sex, all that kind of shit, pushes it. Got 17 years. I'm like,
That seems.
it seems, I think like the touchers seem to get less time than the.
Yeah, because they tend to stay state though. So
Is that why?
Yeah.
Because you don't see many.
Yeah.
Many in the feds, but he was in the feds because
But he's not there for it. He's there for sending porn over state lines. Yeah.
sent a picture of his dick to a 17-year-old.
Which honestly, they probably would have given him like a year or two and had him register. But if he goes to trial, he's done. You're getting 15.
I think
to 20
he might have
years.
went to trial.
Yeah, he must have gone to trial because then they're like, okay, well now we're just going to crucify you.
I seen him years later, and he was like this little skinny, like he must have went to a low or something like that, and got himself all into shape and everything.
Yeah.
I seen him years later, but I always remembered him because he was like, "Don't hit me," and I was like, "This is my first day at Oklahoma City. I'm 2 months into prison. You know what I mean? I still don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
Right. So I sat at. I'm calling my girlfriend. I'm like, I think I'm coming home. Right. And all she's worried about is the fact that my sister brought me to prison and I erased my phone before I gave it to my sister. And my girlfriend, who I'd been with for a couple years now, you know, she was going to ride with me, right? When after my sister dropped me off, she called her and all she was worried about is, I need his phone. I need his phone. She wanted to go through the phone to see, you know what I mean? So like, I'm calling, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Like excited, like thinking something's got, maybe there was an appeal that I don't know about or something got overturned. I didn't know, you know what I mean?
Right.
What was going on. And she was just mad about the fact that I erased my phone and bringing this up and that up. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a rough fucking trip. If they don't let me out, this is going to be hell. Right. Anyway, I'm there for a week or however long it is. They got like each prison that they fly you to, there's a schedule from Oklahoma City, right? Like the ones that are out in the middle of nowhere that have 500 inmates on it, there's one flight every 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. So I'm going to Miami, right? And there's a lot of flights to Miami for some reason. So I was only there for like a week. I finally, it's 4:00 in the morning. They come get you. They bring me down to in this cell with 4 planes go out in the morning. And it's like 180 person, 120 or 180 per plane, right? So they got all the cells full. You're jammed in there. 4:00 in the morning, waiting. And then they come. They got a list. They call you one at a time. You go out, you get your shackles, all that shit. I haven't seen anybody from my case since the airplane, right? We got off. Everybody went their separate ways. However many people were in my big holding cell to get loaded on a plane, all leave, and I'm still sitting in there. They shut and lock the door, and it's a while. Like, it's 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm last. You know what I mean? And they were coming every minute, right? One person a minute. They'd call her name and take them out. Now it's like 10, 15 minutes. And nobody's even looking at me, right? Like, the guards are just walking by and shit. And I sit there for a minute, and then I walk over, and I'm looking out there. A guard walks by. I knock on the glass. And I'm like, hey, did you guys forget me? And he's like, oh, shit, everybody else is gone? And at this time, again, I'm new to prison. I didn't know their bullshit, the guards' bullshit. Right. You know what I mean? They're like the cops when they're trying to trick you into confessing to something. You know what I mean? Just everything's bullshit, you know? And it comes in, he's a white guy, and he's like, oh, that's weird. I wonder why you're still in there. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, did I miss the plane? Right. And he's like, oh, you might have. We might have forgot you. You know what happens? Let me get my clipboard and see what's going on. He goes, 10 minutes go by, right? And I'm like, he comes back. He opens the door. He's like, come here for a second. And he's like, yeah, I was looking. This is what's going on. You're in Air Force, huh? And I'm like, no, you got the wrong. And he said it to me. And I'm so new, so green at this. You know what I mean? He said it to me with like a straight face. And I'm like, no, what do you mean? You're not there. Oh, it says here you're a pilot. And I'm like, I'm a pilot? I'm like, no, dude, I have terrible vision. I'm not a pilot. Like, I'm like going into like realities. Right. You know what I mean? Not knowing he's fucking with me. Right. And I'm like, no, I'm not a pilot. And he goes, well, you see, these Con Air flights, they only got one pilot. Now, if something happens to that pilot, that plane's going down. There's no backup plan. But since you're a pilot, you're going to go ahead and sit in the jump seat up next to the pilot. In case the plane goes down, you can save us all. And I let it sink in, and I'm like, huh? And he just kind of like laughs at me and shuts the door. And I'm like, what in the fuck? Now my mind's going on. I'm like, what is going on? So, you know, Oklahoma City, they got all the big cells, those big ones. I think there's 4 of them, right? There's that hallway. Mm-hmm. All the big cells over here. And then you have the little cells right across the hall with the blacked out windows. Right. Right? I'm sitting there looking, and they go into one of those little cells with the blacked out window, right? The door opens back up, and here comes the guy, Drew, that was crying and got separate teas against me and all this shit, that literally worked at the pain clinic for 3 weeks, right? And he ended up getting a good amount of time because I didn't know it, but Chris opened up a pharmacy that I didn't know about, and he put Drew as a straw owner of it and let him run it, right? Until it got busted. Like I said, all we would do was, when we would buy these pharmacies, all we would do was just order pain pills. Mm-hmm. And the pharmacy everything else would leave. All the locals that came in there to get their Mother's Day cards and all that shit, there was nothing in there. So eventually the DEA would be like, what's going on? Come in and close it. So he was a straw owner of this thing, and it pumped out a lot of drugs, right? And it was all illegal, right? So he copped out. He got like 7 or 8 years or something, and he was at a camp. So I see them. He's handcuffed behind his back, right? They open the thing, and they don't cuff you behind your back at Oklahoma City unless you're like in the shoe, right? Unless you're in a hole there. And I see him. He's got his head down, and he walks out, and I'm sitting there looking at him through the big window, and they take him out. And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm fucked now. Now He's in there. I know what he's doing.
Yeah.
He saw me
Yeah.
when we were at the airport.
I got a separate tease against this guy. You can't put me on the plane with him. You can't meet.
Exactly. That's what he's doing. I'm like, this fucking guy, right? I didn't know how bad. I did not know how bad that was going to be for me. That followed me the entire 10 years I was in prison. This fucking guy's bullshit followed me the entire 10 years I was in prison. He only ended up doing like 18 months after he testified and all that shit. He was out. And his bullshit, man, I'll get into all the shit that came after, but so I see him take him away and I'm like, fuck, dude. So eventually they come back and get me and they're like, yeah, you figure out what's going on yet? And I'm like, yeah, I kind of got that idea what's going on. And they're like, this guy's making a stink. And I'm like, okay. And now everybody's on the plane or on the tarmac or whatever to get on a plane. And they just start doing it to me. And they're like, now they put their regular things on me. And they're like, well, we're real sorry, but you're going to require a couple of extra security features. And they bust out the black box.
Right.
Put the black box on me. I'm like, what is it? They're like, get used to it. How much time you got? This is going to be on you every time you get transferred for the rest of your time. Had to be a tough guy, didn't you? And I'm like, dude, you don't understand. I don't know. We got our shoe fold up here. People don't want to be around you. Got all this shit come across my fax machine, right? And I'm like, fuck. So they put the black box on me. I'm like, are you kidding me? You can't move and it's so you got the black box, the belly chain, and then the black box is hooked to the belly chain.
Yeah.
Right? And then the chain down to your legs, to the cuffs between your legs. And I'm like, this.
You're trying to eat your hand sandwich by holding it with two fingers?
Yes. Oh, and the bag of water. The bag of water. The heat sealed bag of fucking water.
Might as well just
pour it on yourself. Exactly.
Get this over with.
Yeah. And then they give you the little cookies and you open them and you're trying to flip them like quarters to get them in your mouth, right? Well, anyway, so they're not done after the black box.
Right.
So then I go up into that last little where you climb up and they take your shackles off, right? And they pull out a zip tie. It's like this long and like an 1.5 inch thick zip tie, right? And they wrap it around my shoulders and zip it. And it's pointing like 2 feet of me. So now I got all this and a zip tie around my shoulders. And I'm like, dude, I'm designated
This is some Hannibal Lecter shit. Like, it's everything but the mask.
Yes. I'm like, well, I'm designated low security fucking prisoner. And they're like, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. I don't know. Don't be looking at these people when you get on the plane, right? So there's a bunch of people from my case are on the plane, right? But pretty much once I got on there, pretty much all the other ones except this guy Drew were like, hey man, what's up? How you doing? I've been keeping track of where you are, man. I was hoping they were going to put us together. You know what I mean? Like nobody
maybe you should remove the separatees.
Yeah.
Have you considered that?
Exactly. So I get on a plane. Everybody's on a plane. I'm the last one to get on a plane. And there's Drew sitting with the girls.
He made the right call.
I guess so, right? He's sitting with the girls, and I walk past and I look at him and he screams, he's looking at me. Now, there's 100 dudes, inmates on the plane, and everybody's waiting for me to get on a plane. So everybody kind of figures out what's going on.
Yeah.
Everybody starts busting out laughing, right? And all the other inmates are crying, laughing, and fucking call you a bitch, N-word, you getting it? You know what I mean? Oh, you gonna get it, boy? And all this shit. He's up there cowering, and they're like, dude. I'm like, I did not say a word to him, and they're like, you fucking looked right at him. I'm like, I can't look. You know what I mean? It's odd to get on a plane with a bunch of federal convicts and see one dude sitting with the girls that doesn't have fake tits, right? It's odd. Even the guys with fake tits
are typically in the back.
Yes, they're with us, right? And I'm like, I looked at them, and they're like, come with us. And They bring me all the fucking way to the back, and I'm sitting with the cops.
Right.
So all the way to back by the bathroom, right? They got the seats that go this way.
Yeah.
So there's like 3 seats on this side, 2 on this side. They're just old, they're old commercial airline planes, right? So, they got the little, they took it all out, but that's where all the food and the drinks and all that kind of stuff were. Now there's just 3 seats. So I got a cop on this side of me, a cop on this side of me, a fucking stupid zip tie sticking straight out my chest. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on? And they're laughing too. They're like, dude, whatever. We read your jacket. There's a lot of pills in your jacket, right? That's the other thing that followed me. So anytime I had to go to the doctor, anytime I got transferred or whatever, your file, the thing with your picture on it that they read and they call your name and stuff, has a little summary of what you're in prison for.
Right.
Right? And it also has like whatever shots you've gotten in the last year, all that kind of stuff, and your classification. So on my summary, it says I'm responsible for 40 million pills. Right? 40 million pills and $40 million. Right? Which I'm really not.
Right.
Right? Like I never had $40 million. I never wrote a script.
Right.
Right? How you gonna make me responsible for that shit? And the doctors who wrote it weren't even responsible. The doctors who wrote the scripts aren't responsible, but the security guy is.
Right.
How does that work? Right? Whatever. Anyway, so they were all right. You know what I mean? They're fucking U.S. Marshals. You know what I mean? They're fucking with me a little bit, whatever, just sitting there. They come back and sit down next to me. Oh, how you enjoying Con Air kind of thing? You know what I mean? And it's not often that we get something like this. It's kind of funny, whatever. I'm like, all right, man, cool. So we land in Miami, and then they open up all the shutters, right? So now I got 3 seats to myself, sitting sideways. So the windows are behind me on the plane, right? They pull up all the shutters, and the 2 marshals are gone. They're getting everybody off, and they're calling everybody. I know I'm going to be the last one off the plane, right? So I'm trying to make myself comfortable because it takes a long time, and I'm looking out on the tarmac, and they take you to that airport. You remember? It's Opelika Airport, what it's called. And they park, which is just like a little suburb of Miami.
Yeah.
I guess if you could call it a suburb, whatever. Yeah. And where you land and they disembark you is Michael Jordan's plane is there.
Okay.
Right? It's as big as the BOP plane. It's got the Air Jordan thing, North Carolina colors, all that shit on it. It's pretty cool. But anyway, I'm looking out the window and they have all the buses lined up and everybody's standing out. You get off the plane, you go stand in front of your bus. Then they call your name and you go get on a bus, right? And I'm looking out the window and I see the guy Drew just standing. There's 2 black U.S. Marshal guys, in shape, 30s, black dudes, big guys. He is just talking their ear off, right? He's in their ear. Blah, 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 blah. I can't hear what he's saying, but I see him and he's making these faces and like in tears. And I'm like, this motherfucker, dude. I'm gonna fucking, if I ever get my hands on this dude, right? And I see the other couple doctors, couple other people. I think Chris's wife and his mom might be out there, right? They came on another plane or a bus or something like that. I'm looking out there and for 15 minutes, this dude is talking to these marshals and they're calling other marshals over and he's in their ear and he's basically in tears and this and that. And I'm like, this is fucked up. So eventually they call me off the plane. I get off. Everybody's on the buses already. And they're like, we don't have any more room. So you're going to have to go on the bus with those. They have the fucking cage where the cop sits with the gun. You know what I mean? And they're like, you're going to have to sit right in front of that. Right? And don't fucking look at this guy. Don't fucking. And I'm like, dude, why would you put him with the girls on the girls bus, right? Dude, I'm like, dude, first of all, I didn't do anything to this guy. And they're like, oh, that's not what we heard. And we got to be safe. And, you're whatever, the head of this case and all, and dangerous and all. And I'm like, dude, this is so not. I literally did a self-surrender, turned myself into prison. That's how fucking dangerous I am. You know what I mean? But by this point, it was just like, it was over. You know what I mean? There was nothing I could say. Right. And I'm sure that this guy, Drew, also was like, look, that guy's part of my case too. That guy, go ask him. Right. And of course, none of these other people had ever been to jail, probably ever even had a speeding ticket kind of thing. And I'm sure they like wanted sympathy, like, I'm not supposed to be here kind of guy. You know what I mean? That fucking kind of shit.
Yeah.
So I'm sure when they were like, went and talked to the other co-defendants, they were like, oh, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, whatever. We go to Miami FDC. You go into the basement there. They drive the car inside. They go to the basement. Once again, I had to sit on the bus till everybody else goes. You go upstairs, like old rickety metal stairs, whatever, pipes hanging. You're like in a parking garage kind of thing. They go through all that shit, get everybody else up there. Then they come get me, and I notice it's the two black guys, big, stocky black guys that he was talking to that get me, and each one takes an arm. They take me. We go up the stairs. We get into the room before R&D, and they're like, heard you was a killer. And I'm like, fuck with me. I'm going to take the handcuffs off. Fuck with me. I like killers. This is my fucking house. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Did I do anything, bro? I didn't do it. Oh, I don't know. There's a whole lot of problems going on right now. We got people going to the shoe. You going to the shoe for your duration. All kinds of problems. I'm hearing all kinds of shit about you, white boy. You want to go? You want to take them handcuffs off? Let's see. Try me. And I'm like, dude, whatever, man. Whatever. So I go in, get checked in, whatever, and right to the shoe, right? Funny thing is, they made all those other motherfuckers go to the shoe too.
Right.
All these guys that are at camps and they don't know. They're going, where are we going? They brought us all, we're on the same elevator going up to the shoe, right? And where are we going? Oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? And they're like, you're all going to the shoe, man. You got separatees against everybody. Mm-hmm. You got to make sure. They put me in they're actually really cool. Once they got me they put me in a cell by myself.
Right.
And they put everybody else on the case, even Chris's mom and his wife. They put everybody in the shoe because of this guy, Drew. Yeah. Everybody. Like 2 weeks, right? Sitting there waiting. And eventually they let us, everybody goes to a different unit, whatever. A couple days later, get called to R&D at the detention center, and marshals again, marshal custody. So, at R&D, they bring, I'm the last one to come down. This guy, Drew, and all the other doctors, everybody's in a cell. Everybody that's going on this bus to West Palm Beach County Jail, and they go to put me in the cell. And they fucking start free. Like nothing has happened. Like, I don't even have handcuffs or nothing on, right? Everybody's just sitting in there talking like old times, high-fiving, having a good time, telling their prison camp stories, right? And they open the door and like, go in. And these people freak out again.
What do they say there?
They're like, whoa, what the fuck? And I'm like, Jesus Christ. I was like thinking, are they going to fucking put me in there? Because I'm going to fucking break this guy's neck. Right? I'm like,
everything that he said you're going to do, you're about to do.
Yeah. I'm like,
he could have said nothing. He'd have been fine.
Because when we were in the shoe, these cops were extra cool to me and assholes to them. Right? Especially the guy, Drew. He's crying the whole time on the door. These cops brought me a radio. They brought me batteries. They brought me cleaning stuff. Somebody had graffiti to sell, and they're like, dude, if you clean this, we'll hook you up with some commissary. Mm. They were cool as a fan. We'll make sure you don't have another celly. The shoe at the FTC, they got showers in there, all that, you know what I mean? So it wasn't terrible. I had a
Yeah.
radio. Nobody else had a radio. Brought me batteries, the whole nine. It was all right, right? And yeah, so they stopped me from going in there, and they're like, all right, just go over here, whatever, dude. Like at this point, those marshals were like, I don't want to fucking hear anything about. I don't want to hear this guy anymore or any of these other people. So there was two girls too. There was Chris's mom, Diana, and there was another girl. I don't know. The other doctor that was going to trial, his name was Dr. Cashapp, and he was just like a freelance pain management doctor. So he worked somewhere else, and this girl worked where he worked, whatever. So there was 3 girls and me. And they were like, well, all these guys got to go on the same bus. And they were like, wait, we'll just put him with the girls. We'll just put him with the girls, get all those other people up to the county jail. And he can ride with the girls. They're all handcuffed in the van, whatever. We'll just keep them in separate seats. No big deal. So they let me ride up with Chris's wife and his mom, which was awesome. You know, we're really good friends. You know what I mean? So we just talked and bullshitted the whole way up there, whatever. It was no big deal. Got to the county jail, and all that separatee shit was gone. Immediately put me right in the holding tank with all these motherfuckers. And I'm like, dude, just stay the fuck away from me. Right? Whatever. I'm like, I don't even know why we're back here yet. Right? Making my priority was making phone calls, right? Telling my sister, my girlfriend, everybody that I'm back. So at that county jail, Palm Beach County Jail, you sit in a holding tank for 24 hours. Then you go through classification, and then you go into a transient dorm, is what they call it, for 3 days, for 72 hours. You got a 72-hour hold where they just throw everybody into it, and then you get classified to which dorm you're going to, right? By your record, whatever. Now, we're all federal. So they didn't need to do that because there's only 2 federal wings, right? So we sat there for 3 days, and then on the 3rd day, they sent us all to the same unit in the county jail, 8C, right? Federal unit. And Chris was in there. Eventually, Jeff came in there. Pretty much everybody from the case was there, and they were like, cadet's trial is going to be like next year, but if they want to talk to all of us. And I'm like, dude, they flew all of us from all over, everywhere, back here because they want to talk to us, like put us through all of this shit. I'm like, yeah. And
they don't give a shit. I don't care.
No. And so in there, I don't know, maybe a week, something like that. And, you know, you get visits. Like my sister came, my girlfriend came like once or twice before she backed out on that whole riding with me thing, right? And so I came back from a visit, right? And came back from somewhere. Maybe it was a lawyer. Maybe, I don't know what it was. I came back, but there's like, just like a county jail you see on any TV show, 60 Days In. You know, you got the big pillars. Yeah. It's just a big octagon building. Pillars go all the way up, right? So each floor, there's like 4 pillars, a bunch of tables, and then a bunch of bunks in the county jail. That's it. You know what I mean? A little couple separate rooms. 10 bunks in this one, 10 bunks in that one. Everything's open up, you know? And I come in the door, and I'm standing on one side of the pillar, and I hear this guy, Drew, talking to the guy, Ethan, about who he's telling on and what he's telling the federal prosecutor and the FBI about me, about Chris. He's telling them all this shit. And like, I've just sat there and listened for a minute. He didn't know I was standing right behind him.
Right.
Right. And it was all bullshit. It was total bullshit, dude. He was saying, and he really told the prosecutor this shit, that he was in a meeting in his 3 weeks there of being a janitor. Right. That he was in a meeting with me, with Chris, with Dr. Cadet, and a drug company, a distributor of pills where we sat there, Dr. Cadet included, discussing how we were going to get people hooked on these pills and how we were going to make all this money pushing this, no matter how much we knew about how addictive it was and all this stuff. Like he really told them that he was in this meeting with us, right? And that I had enough. So I came around and he was right in front of me, but his back was to me. And the guy, Ethan, was sitting there listening to what he's saying. And I said, Drew, you fucking told them that? None of that, what you just said, is fucking even remotely true. And he looked up at me and he went, well, Paul thinks it's true.
Who's Paul?
Paul is the federal prosecutor. And I was like, that's it. And I went after him. I had enough. I had a fucking enough, right? I hit him. I grabbed him by his neck. And I was pushing him down on the table because I was really going to wear him out. And he fucking squirmed down like this and got underneath the table. You know what I mean? It's one of them tables with like the legs that are attached.
Yeah.
The seats that are attached. It's a round seat attached to it. And 4-person one, he got under this fucking table and squirted out the other side. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking kill you. I think I said I'm going to kill you or fuck you up. I don't remember what my exact words were. But as he came out from underneath the table on the ground like this, a female correction officer was standing like right over him, looking at him and looking at me. And that's when I said that. But I don't know if it was I'm going to fuck you up or I'm going to kill you. I don't remember what I said. And he goes, did you hear what he said to her? And she's like, everybody separate. And I'm like, this motherfucker. Everybody back to their bunks. And I'm like, all right. I'm just like, I can't believe this fucking, I'm going to kill this guy, dude. I was steaming. My fucking hair and my arms were standing up. I wanted to just, because of all the bullshit that I had to deal with and all the false stories that were told when I would get called down there. I'm just trying to take a plea bargain and I'm hearing all this bullshit stuff. I did what I did. I worked at the fucking pain clinic, beat a couple people up. If you want to say I tried to extort somebody, go ahead, right? But none of this other shit is true. You know what I mean? Like there were so many, and that also followed me throughout prison, where people would know who I was and they would come up to me and they would start talking about, they were an inmate, right? Mm-hmm. They're doing 81 months for pills, for distributing pills. They're like, dude, I used to go to American Pain, this place down there in Florida, this huge place, American Pain. Bro, I would go there and they would give me like 530 milligrams. They'd give me 2,500 fucking OC80s.
That's not true.
None of it's true. That's not true. Nobody got more than 240 of one type of pill. Right? The main pill was Roxy 30s. It was cut off at 240. Now you get a couple Percocets or a couple 15s and some Xanax.
Yeah, but you're not going over the law, the legal amount.
And I can't tell you how many times people have come up to me and told me this stuff and not knowing who I am.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, yeah, I know that owner, the twins. I know them. I fuck with them all the time, dude. They used to slide me scripts and this and that. And I'm like, okay. And in my back of my head, I'm like, this motherfucker and people like him are the reason I'm fucking sitting here.
Right.
Because they exaggerated everything. You know what I mean? They got caught doing whatever they did. They spilled their guts. If you got 81 months for pills, 81 months, you cooperated.
Yeah, because what the mandatory minimum is.
And I get so many of them got 81 months. You know, and every one of those doing their 81 months, it was always, oh yeah, I was there when the FBI came and they cut Chris's floor open in his garage and pulled out boxes of money and all. You know what I mean? Just all these bullshit stories. But anyway, we'll get to that later. But yeah, so they separated us, made everybody go sit on their bunk, and they came to talk to me. And I'm like, listen, man, the CO, and I'm like, listen, I was sitting with Chris, George, and another guy, another Chris, we're sitting there on the bunks, and I'm like, listen, we're all part of the same case, and it's not a big deal kind of thing, whatever. And both the Chris's that were sitting with me were like, oh, fuck. Because I said we're part of the same case, and she was like, okay, you, you're out of here. Pack up your shit. We're moving you to other dorms. Now, I got written up for assault. All the other people, doctors, the guy Ethan, all wrote statements against me in the county jail. We got that when we did. You wrote a letter to Palm Beach County Jail.
Oh, yeah.
When we were in prison.
Information Act.
Yeah. So you wrote a letter to Palm Beach County Jail to get that.
All right.
And it was all those other people made statements thinking they were going to get more time cut off for making statements about me punching somebody in the county jail, right? And the guy said he had damaged his eardrum, something like that, right? So they sent the two Chris's, they sent them to the other federal dorm, right? And they sent me to Thunderdome in Palm Beach County Jail, all the way up on the top floor where everybody's in there for robberies and have $100 bonds and can't get out.
Right.
Right.
So this isn't federal.
No, I'm in the regular county jail. I'm not in the federal holding anymore. So I sat there for 2 months, right? And then finally one day they popped my door. In that part of the jail, in the regular jail, you're locked in a cell. You know what I mean? You get out a couple hours a day, whatever. Everybody's just a scumbag, drug addict, thief, you know, petty crimes that nobody's got any teeth. Nobody can read. You know what I mean? You got a little shelf that has books, right? And the inmates in there are so desperate for something to eat, they'll go take the books and rip the cover off and just put the cover back into the shelf and then take the book to their room. And then they'll see you over there going, what the fuck? Why can't I get a book? And they'll be like, hey, man, I have that book in my room. If you give me a soup, I'll let you read it. You know what I mean? That's a county jail. That's how petty, you know what I mean? The county jail kind of shit is. And
when did they pop your door?
They pop my door and they're like, you got a visit or something. And I'm like, okay, I'm assuming it's my sister or whatever. And they take me right past the visitation glass downstairs. I make a joke to the CO that's bringing me down there. Is this an escape or something?
Right.
That didn't go over well. They don't think that's funny at all. Right. And they take me, put me in a car, drive me to robbery homicide. And, you know, the Palm Beach County Jail is like a complex. So they got the different police stations. Drive me to robbery homicide. Go upstairs in there. I hear a bunch of people talking. And they bring me into this room, another huge room. I don't know, 15 people in there, FBI, DEA, IRS, all them people. And they're like, wow, Nolan, prison doesn't seem to bother you too much. Everybody else is in here crying and looking like shit. And I mean, you pretty much look the same. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I had been hearing that they were taking people, right? You know, I was only in that cell with everybody in the case or in that dorm for a couple days. But I had been hearing from other people that they'd been taking them out and like buying them lunch and shit like that, you know? And I was like, oh, at least maybe I'm going to get a fucking spicy chicken sandwich or some shit out of this deal, right? And I'm like, oh, shit, whatever. And they're like, so the trial's going to be like next year. And I'm like, so what am I doing here now? And they're like, well, we're going to need you to testify. And I'm like, listen, we've already talked about this. Like, I can't, right? I already said that she wasn't guilty. It's like if on the prison legal library, right? If you search my name, I'm in there saying that Dr. Cadet is fucking innocent.
Right.
Right? There's like her appeal is like, listen, the head guy in all this is saying that I'm innocent, right? Anyway, and they're like, I'm like, listen, man, like, this just doesn't sound like a great idea to me. I'm like, nah. I'm like, it sucks. Prison sucks. You know, I'm supposed to be at a low. I'm at a fucking medium. And like, if you call and check on me, it says I'm at the low.
Right.
Right.
But you're not.
Yeah. And like, it doesn't even say that. Prison switches so much between what they do with their facilities. Like, if you look it up on the computer, it says it's a federal detention center. Right. And I'm at a fucking medium with people fucking getting stabbed and shit. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. I've never had any like kind of problem. Nobody really fucks with me.
Right.
You know what I mean? You fight 1 or 2 times, and like, I'm 220 pounds, 6'1". Like, I'm always gonna just come decide that I look like a victim and try to, you know what I mean? I never really.
Right.
All my problems in prison is with the staff of the prison. That's it. You know, I mean, it's just the staff. So I talked to them for a little bit, and they're like, we'll send you back if you don't want to do it. And I'm like, they're like, you want to spend the next 14 years in prison? Whatever. And I'm like, I don't know about all this. You know what I mean? I'm not at a low. Like, it says I'm supposed to be. Like, you get killed for this kind of shit, right? You should actually give me time off just for you bringing me back here.
Yeah, this doesn't look good.
This does not look good for me, right? I should get time off for this. I'm like, you know, and they're like, well, you know, one of the doctors killed themselves, right? He flew out he had a second house in Colorado. He flew out there, didn't tell anybody he flew out there. This is right before he got sentenced or something. Pulled into his garage, left the car running and went to sleep, killed himself. Another one of the guys that worked on Jeff's side, he tried to kill himself. So the IRS agent brought that up, and he's like, Derik, we don't want you to do anything that you don't want. You can handle this. You got these other guys that fucking, you tell them you got to go do 10, 15 years, and they kill themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's like, I'm not twisting your arm or anything. I'm like, listen, man, I would love to help myself out, but this just it's not going to work, right? It's just not going to work. And they're like, well, the trial's not till next year. So we'll just send you back. And they were like, I was like, we're going to get fucking something to eat.
Right.
Everybody, from what I hear, everybody else is getting Philly cheesesteaks and all that kind of shit. And they're like, oh, we got a bagel. You want a bagel? And I was like, yeah. They're like, you want cream cheese? I'm like, yeah. What else? We got almonds. And I'm like, yeah, put them in there too, you know? So I had a fucking bagel with cream cheese. They sent me back. I sat at the county jail another month, 2 months. Nah. Yeah, maybe 2 months. It might have been 2 months. Just miserable. County jail, you eat the water eggs for breakfast, a bologna sandwich for lunch. And I actually took the test to prove that I was a Muslim so that I could get the kosher food. Right? Which is worse than the fucking, I mean, it comes from a restaurant, but it's horrible.
So it's Muslim, not Jewish?
Jews or Muslims can get kosher food.
Oh, okay.
And for a Jew, you got to have a synagogue and a rabbi.
Oh.
For the Muslim, you got to take a 5-question test, right? So, but then you also have to keep up with it, and you have to go to prayer. Right? So I'd go up to this room once a week, right? And everyone would be rolling around on the floor on their mats and fucking rubbing their heads and whatever. And I would be sitting there in a chair like, what in the fuck? Whatever. But I went every time, right? Every time. So right before, it was like Ramadan or whatever. What's in September for the Muslim? I don't know. Something. Where you fast all day.
Yeah.
And then you get all your meals at like 5 o'clock at night, right? They had a Muslim party, right? All the most devout Muslims in the jail, like the 10 most devout Muslims in the jail get to go to this party. Mm-hmm. And they have fucking funnel cakes, and they have fucking chicken, and they have pasta and some gelatin shit. I don't know what it was. And guess whose name got called to go to the fucking thing? Mine. And like all the local imams or whatever, I don't know what's going on. Right? They're all there from all the local temples.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. Mosques. and me.
Are
right?
they talking to
Yeah,
you?
they're
Are they?
pissed. They're fucking pissed. I'm fucking sitting there munching on these funnel cakes and the chicken, and only white guy there, and everybody like, what the fuck are you doing here? And I was like, what? I didn't even say a word. I just fucking ate, right? And I haven't eaten nothing in a long time.
You know what I'm doing here.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm fucking doing here. But it just goes by their computer. So it showed every Friday or whatever for 3 months. I didn't miss a fucking meeting, if that's what they're called. Right? And I had somebody else take the test for me, so I didn't even know, right? It's not like I just guessed and got the right answers. Whatever. So then they shipped me back. Went back to the same place again. And like at the time, like I didn't even know that I was at the medium. Like I thought I was at the low.
Right.
Right? I didn't, because it said like you came in and it still says Oakdale, FCI Oakdale medium, a big sign in the front of the place. But it, like I said, it just turned into a low.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like I didn't know. I was like, it's supposed to be a low. Talking to my lawyer and everything, like, it's a low, Derik. It's a low. But I'm at
The
2.
medium. Yeah.
I'm at 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so they sent me back there, whatever. I just got into a routine, working out. I got big. I didn't fuck with drinking and all that shit. I didn't really fuck with anybody. I just started reading a lot and working out 4 times a day. Working out and running. I got really big. I found ways to. I had a little bit of money, so I was able to buy 40 packs of tuna fish every commissary. You know what I mean? Eat tuna fish and the chicken pouches. And at that place, at Oakdale, you would buy what's called bombs from the kitchen. So these guys would steal 3 pounds, 2 pounds of chicken, of pork chops, of roast beef, whatever, wrap it up in cellophane, put it in their pants, and bring it back to the unit. You know what I mean? And I found a guy, his name was Kendall Jackson. Right? My sister likes to drink a little bit. So I made a deal with him and I said, hey, how much to bring me one of those back every day? And he was like, send me $100 every week or every 2 weeks. So I called my sister and I was like, listen, this is the deal that I made with this guy. And she's like, what's his name? I said, Kendall Jackson. She said, oh, I love that wine. I will absolutely send him $100 every 2 weeks or whatever. So it was great. You know what I mean? On that Thanksgiving, I had a whole turkey. This was when Obama was running for his reelection in 2011, going into 2012.
Yeah.
That's before they changed the food. His wife, the vice president, the president's wife, gets a job. The first lady gets a job, right? And at his second term, her job was national and federal nutrition. And she changed the whole Federal Bureau of Prisons menu. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Remember they used to have the ice cream machines?
Yeah.
And they had all the juice and the salad bar and all that stuff, right? So you didn't go hungry in federal prison.
No.
They had on the weekends, it was eggs to order. You walked up with your tray. I want 2 over easy. I want an omelet. I want some cheese on there. I want some hash browns, right? Remember that? And it changed overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Literally like
The national menu.
the national menu. It changed overnight. And all of a sudden you get an apple and the bran flakes for breakfast, right? And sometimes a Danish or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was Monday tacos, Tuesday chicken, Friday or Wednesday hamburger. Thursday leg quarter, Friday fish, and the weekends was smorgasbord or whatever, spaghetti or something, right? So my first year, right, it was all right. And then on top of it, for $100 a month, I got this guy bringing me all this. I got a stinger, so I was able to cook in my cell. I was freaking plugging it into the outlet. I got a cell when I came back, I was out of the fishbowl. I got a cell.
Mm-hmm.
I was frying food. You know what I mean? I just made a program. There was different people there that would cook for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like at the low we were at, Coleman, you had the pizza guys. You know what I mean? So like I just made that my focus, like eating and working out. I work out 4 times a day. I was running 30, 40 miles a week, right? Just staying in my own lane. No problems. Nothing. You know, a couple fights here and there. You go to catch a cell with somebody, whatever. It's not a big deal,
Couple fights here and there.
right?
Yeah.
You know, so you get issues over the TV or, you know what I mean? Just disrespect.
Yeah, I was like of 13 years. I never had any fights. Never had one fight. 13 years, not one.
Never caught a cell?
I caught a cell.
Yeah. Let's go catch a cell.
No. No. I think
probably-
I punched me from behind one
I had
time, but it
probably
wasn't really a fight. It was an
60
assault.
of those. Catch a cell, you beat each other up, you fucking shake hands, and you walk out, you know?
No, but you know.
Just bullshit. Then a year later, again, this time I hear my name getting called over the loudspeaker to come to R&D at like noon, right?
They don't put you on the pack out? I mean, they don't
Nope.
put you on the thing. They just call you. Okay.
They're calling me all day. I didn't even hear them because I'm working out. I got my headphones in, my MP3 player. You know what I mean? I'm in my own world. And then eventually they come and get me. They're like, dude, you're supposed to go to R&D. You're leaving tomorrow. And I'm like, I'm leaving tomorrow? What the fuck? This is a year later.
You almost feel like saying, like, I got a routine.
Yeah.
But I have a routine.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
doing good time here.
by now, like the girlfriend shit was done, right? You know what I mean? I got that phone call crying or the email, call me, I got to talk to you. And calling the answer on the phone, her crying, I did it. I slept with somebody last night. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, all right, you know, okay, well.
I saw this coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was upset about it. You know what I mean? But like, once that part was all over and we don't even talk anymore and I'm deleted from the emails, so I can't get any more 2:00 in the morning emails when I get up in the morning and she's drunk somewhere with a couple and they're all lovey-dovey and I get a nasty email in the middle of the night, you know what I mean, that I can't even read about. Whatever. So once that was all over, prison was kind of like, it was just, you get into a routine. You do your thing, you do the best. You don't have a choice but to do good, right? You don't have a choice. You just,
I mean, some people make them their time really, really hard, and some people get into a routine, and I felt like it just started shooting by.
yeah.
Once you're in a routine, but some people just they want to spend the whole fucking time bitching and moaning.
Yeah.
You know, and causing themselves problems.
I wasn't able to, like, I didn't care. Like, I couldn't get an appeal. I couldn't file an appeal. I couldn't, you know what I mean? So it was like, all right, this is it. I just kind of accept. I'm going to make it the best that I can, right? I got the souped up big earphones from it, you know what I mean? So I had a radio in my cell. I get my people will send me as many books as I want. I read books. I never would play cards, no dominoes, none of that shit, because I know me, I'm going to get into a fight. I didn't drink. I wanted to, but I was like, dude, something bad's going to happen, you know? I just want to get the fuck out of here, right?
So they call you back to
They
R&D.
call me back, the whole process again, but this time I don't see any of my co-defendants on a plane rides, nothing like that, but I'm still in a black box. No fucking zip tie. Still don't understand what that, and it was orange, right? So it was like spray painted orange too. The zip tie sticking out. That didn't happen. I never saw that again. Black box, whatever. Go back, get to the federal detention center. None of my co-defendants at the federal detention center. We must have came at different times or whatever. They sit there for a little while, maybe, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. That's cool. That federal detention center in Miami's got fucking ping pong tables and pool tables and, you know what I mean, good food. And I was actually kind of like a celebrity there because I'm on the fucking news all the time. You know what I mean? And everybody's like, oh, I know you. And you know, whatever. I
mean, by this point, have like American Greed come out and
no, nothing.
None of those?
Nobody has contacted me. Nothing yet.
Okay.
Right. Go to back to the Palm Beach County Jail. Or actually, no. I'm at the federal detention center. And I'm there for like a week, and I get called out, and they take me underground to the courthouse across the street from the Federal Detention Center in Miami. They put me in a holding cell and leave me there all day till 5 o'clock. And then they come and get me, and they're like, all right, you got to go back to your unit. I'm like, what is going on? Why did you just leave me in this all by myself, throwing me bologna sandwiches, all bologna sandwiches I could eat? And they're like, so if somebody was supposed to meet with you and something or some kind of emergency, whatever. So next day, again, 4 o'clock in the morning, come get me, go to FTC. They bring me up into the courthouse, into a room, and it's the federal prosecutor, few agents, blah, 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 bullshitting, like asking me about prison and shit, you know what I mean? Telling me, we talked to this guy. I'm like, dude, I don't care that you talk to these. I fucking hate these people, right? I don't want to fucking see these motherfuckers. I fucking hate them. You better not put me in the fucking same cell with them. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. I'm like, dude, I don't, it's going to be a fucking problem. And they're like, well, the trial's in a month or something. So we got to go over all this stuff. We're going to play you the wiretaps that you're involved with and all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, like, I can't testify, right? Like, it's not going to do any good, right? Like, I've already said what I said. It's a 302. They know that I can't just change my story, right?
They'll tear you apart with
They're going to tear me apart, dude.
Right.
Like, I'm like, listen, I feel like I cooperated enough already. I had all these meetings with you. I went and I met with her. Just fucking knock a couple years off my sentence and send me back to the jail. Send me back to the prison, right? Whatever. I'm like, I just don't think it's a good idea. And they made me go through the whole thing, and they're playing the wiretaps. And I'm like, dude, all this does is make me look like a fucking animal, right? All this shit. And they're like, listen, what we're trying to do is, yes, make you look like a piece of shit. And because Dr. Cadet worked for you and with you, she's guilty by association. That's what we're doing here. And it's like, don't worry about, we want you to go in front of the judge and fucking talk all this shit, and you're not sorry and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, holy shit, man, this is like, you can't tell on her for anything. It's not like she was buying drugs from you or she was selling you drugs or anything like that. There's not anything that you're like saying she did it. All you're doing is you're going in there and putting on a show of what a piece of shit you are. And that's going to turn the jury against her because you guys were so close. That's what your role in this is. And I'm like, oh my God. And they're like, listen, you might go home after this. And I'm like, oh man. I'm like,
I mean, I'll miss Dr. Cassette? No. Cadet. But I mean, she could have taken a few years.
They're like, with your judge, we had Judge Mara. And they're like, dude, it's not out of the question that you will go home after this.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, man. All right, whatever. So I played their game with them. And they so they came and got me a couple more times, right? All while I was at the FDC. So they couldn't bring me any fucking food.
I was just going to say, is it more than a bagel this time?
No, they couldn't bring me any while I was in the courthouse. Nothing. So I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm like, you guys come fucking empty-handed all this fucking time, and you bringing me down here, and you're fucking up my eating, right? I got shit going on up there, right? Like, I got people bringing me food and this kind of shit, and I'm missing my commissary and all this shit. And they're like, whatever, just bologna sandwiches kind of bullshit. And I'm a huge, all I care about is food. Right. I fucking love food. I think I was more upset about not being able to have steak than I was about not having my girlfriend anymore when they sent me to prison. So eventually they send me to West Palm again, right? And travel all by myself again, right? None of my co-defendants, nothing. I ran into my co-defendants when I got into that transient dorm, right? But it was only a couple. It was like Chris, George, this other kid, Chris, people I really didn't have any problem with, right? I, later found out that that was by design, because now all these people have separatises against me. So they put me in. There's 2 federal dorms in the Palm Beach County Jail, AC and 4D or whatever. So they put me, Chris, this guy, other guy, Chris, one of the doctors, and the guy Ethan, who, like, whatever, dude, he was a cop to begin with. So what Chris hired him, he wasn't my hire. I didn't know the extent that he had told on me. I didn't know about him telling on me for hitting Drew, right? I didn't know that yet. I didn't know that till, so it's just like, whatever, you know what I mean? And we're in that, just like the 5 of us were in that dorm hanging out. It was, again, the Miami Heat were in NBA Finals. It was like they did it, 3 years in a row, whatever, back then. So we were watching the finals, just like hanging out. The FBI, they came and got me maybe one more time, and they brought me to that robbery homicide again. And I was like, listen, I don't think this is going to be bad. I'm going to end up getting more time on this shit. Like, I'm going to get caught, like, perjuring or something. You know what I mean? And they're like, don't worry about it. And this time they brought me a huge Philly cheesesteak from Jacaro's, right? And it was fucking amazing, right? And I'm talking, I ran into one of the guys in an elevator in the jail going to medical or something like that. And he's like, yeah, I just met with them. Like, I didn't have any problem with this guy. And he was like, dude, they do not fucking like you. And he's like, every time they come get me all the time, and all they do is talk shit about you. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, yeah. And I've with the other 30 co-defendants, and it's the same thing. They bring us down there to go over a wiretap or this or that, and all they do is talk shit about you. Like, what's that fucking Nolan doing up there? Being a fucking asshole, and like, yeah, just not good stuff, right? And in my dorm, I'm with the guy Ethan, with Chris, one of the doctors, and another guy, Chris. And they're telling these guys the same thing, like how they want them to go in there and be like, yeah, I'm a fucking gangster. This is what I do, man. She got caught up in it. You know, want her to be, and I'm like, thinking about it, and I'm like, so what happens after we do this? Then we go back before the same judge that we just went in and made an ass for ourselves in front of, and say, are you going to...
I'm a good guy. I deserve to have my sentence cut.
Yeah, I'm like, this just does not fucking sound... And I tried talking to Chris, and I was like, dude, I don't think we should do this. And he's like, dude, they told me they're going to give me 50% off. They're going to let me go. And I'm like... He's like, we gotta do it. We gotta do it. And I'm like, dude, it's just bad, right? Like, and I'm seeing the treatment of everybody else. They're getting taken out multiple times a day, fucking steaks and all kinds of shit. And the whole time, all I got is one fucking cheesesteak and a half of a bagel with almond cream cheese, right? I'm like, this is not right. It's something's not right about it. Anyway. We say that they threatened me several times. They're like, we're just going to send you back to prison, Derik. And I'm like, listen, it's 14 years and I'm weighing it. And like, they didn't prepare me either. Right. Like they knew every word that was going to come out of everybody else's mouth. Right. So the trial started. I was like the 5th person to go. They bring me down there. The marshals are always so nice. The U.S. Marshals, you know what I mean? They were cool as shit. It was a couple chicks. I'm riding to the courthouse, cuffed with just cuffs in front of me, with another chick, 20-year-old chick, sitting next to me. That's from another case. You know what I mean? They're laid back. They're cool. Bringing me extra sandwiches and shit. I sat at a courthouse a couple days waiting to testify. Then they bring me back every night because other people were testifying. You know. And it's finally my turn. And, like, I walk in and I'm big, right? My hair's probably not the best. My beard's probably pretty long. I'm wearing a 6X it says the jail uniform says what size it is, and it's fucking says 6X on it, right? And it's like tight. It's like this, you know? And you know, they start in on me. You know, the prosecutor comes and he's just going over every fucking thing that I ever did, you know what I mean? And really agitating me, you know what I mean? Like trying to make me look really bad, you know? And so when I said before that they didn't prepare me, like right before I went in there, they're like, oh, we got to have you listen to this. We forgot to do this. And I'm like, well, this is bringing a whole new part of this in, you know what I mean? I thought I was going to be here for an hour testifying, you know what I mean? Ended up being 3 days.
Jesus.
Like everything about me, like, and what really started it off bad was they were like, were you promised anything? And I was like, yeah. And the prosecutor was like, you were? What were you promised? I said, you said you were going to let me go after I testified. And he's like, what? And he fucking, the defense attorney's like, objection! And fucking everybody like sidebar and all this. And I'm like, what? I mean, we crossed all our T's and dotted our I's at my plea, right? Like, are you sure? Right? And I had to answer truthfully and say, yeah, nobody promised me anything. Then after I was sentenced, you came and said, you're going to probably go home if you testify. So that was...
Yeah, what am I supposed to think?
Yeah.
If I testify.
Right. So it just went bad from there. And he was hammering me for a day and a half before they rested, right? And it was, damn, dude. You know when you talk to your best friend on the phone? I mean, me and you aren't best friends, but we're pretty good friends. Think of the shit that I say when we talk on the phone or the text messages I send you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With the reasonable suspicion of privacy, expectation of privacy, you're fucking around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm a real fucking asshole
Yeah.
with my friend. You know what I mean? I'm a real dick, right? And they got all these fucking things. Dude, just saying the fucking worst. Sex, women, fucking racism, just, and they're playing this shit. And I'm just like, some of the conversations are 20 minutes long.
Right.
And I'm just sitting there going, holy shit. Talking about fucking stabbing the guy, Ethan, in the neck and watching him squeal like a pig. And I'm like, oh, like, and everybody's looking at you.
What about, it's kind of like what was the one phone call where you were, the people, they drove on a railroad track, or no, they got hit, or they like fell asleep or something and got hit by a train.
Yes.
These are two addicts.
That's just that's like the whole focus of this. Like they played that shit like 20 fucking times.
So here's the problem, Colby, is that these people died. And so they're on the phone going, what kind of fucking retards fall asleep on a fucking train track? What? I mean, they're just going on and laughing about it.
And I said, after the train hit their car, it looked like a Roxy Pinata exploded. So the story with that is those people came in and got a script for an MRI like we talked last time, right?
Yeah.
I sent them to Fay Imaging. They went to Fay Imaging and demanded, you don't get a copy of your MRI results. The referring doctor gets a fax. Probably it would be an email now. They don't even think they have fax, whatever. We get that because we don't want you taking that and going to 20 doctors.
Right.
So they demanded and started a big problem at Fay Imaging, right, over not being able to get it. So I was made aware of this. So when they came in to see the doctor, I started looking into shit, right? And yeah, they were fucking doctor shopping, right? So I kicked them out, right? And they caused more of a problem at Fay Imaging. They were like, we just paid, right? And they were trying to get it faxed to other pain clinics. And I wrote a policy on the pain management clinic that we don't release it to anybody for 2 years. Right? Just another way to make sure the money doesn't go anywhere else and kind of cover my ass a little bit. So they were driving around for like 2 or 3 days trying to get another MRI, trying to do something. And they had a file because I made them a file. And that's how I investigated and then kicked them out. And then, like on the 3rd day or something, they're all fucked up. And the guy driving nodded out on a railroad track. The fucking train came and fucking hit him. And it killed 2 of them and threw another one out of the car fucking 200 feet down the road. He bounced a couple times. I think he might have lived, right? And me and you and your best friend talking about something that's fucking crazy, right? That's a crazy story.
Yeah.
Right? And there's a lot to it. You know what I mean? And, you know, we laughed, right? I laugh about everything anyway.
I laugh about all kinds of horrible things.
You say terrible things when you're talking to your best friend with the expectation of privacy. And just an example of that is Chris had a cat named Wazzy, and he loved that cat. And I had a dog named Luna, and I loved that dog. And we would be sitting at our houses talking on the phone, and my dog would be laying on me, and I'd be petting the dog. And Chris would be petting his cat. What are you doing? Oh, I'm making that sweet love to Wazzy. And I would be like, oh, yeah, I'm really giving it to Luna. I'd be scratching her back, right? Oh, yeah, we're making that sweet love. Oh, she's kissing me now, right? The feds don't know that Wazzy and Luna are fucking the dog and the cat. So, I mean, honestly, I've been hauled in and listened to this, and they're like, what the fuck is going on here? What kind of a fucking sick fucks are you guys? I'm like, dude, it's just a joke. You know what I mean? We're fucking around. But they don't take anything like that. No. You know what I mean? That's like smoking gun, right? We got him. He's a pervert, right? It's not a pervert. I'm fucking around with my dog.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it was like, so day and a half of the prosecutor hammering me. Then, like, I did all the damage to myself, right? Like, I basically made her look innocent. Right. Like, I fucked it all up. Everything from the first question, the very first question. And then her defense attorney got up and he was like, thanks, dude. Right? And he's like, so what do you think he really didn't even have to do anything. I did all the damage.
What about the sheep? I'm not a sheep. I'm not a sheep.
Oh yeah. They were like, did you hide? They were trying to say that I hid who I was and how I acted and stuff from her. Right? And I was like, dude, I'm not a fucking wolf in sheep's clothing. Look at me. I think I had like a stupid mohawk or something, prison fucking thing, and I'm 230 pounds covered in tattoos. Right? Back then, I probably talked with more of a New York kind of accent.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm not a fucking sheep in wolf's clothing or a wolf in sheep's clothing. I'm a fucking wolf in wolf's clothing. You get what you get when you look at me. Everybody knows what I'm doing and what I'm about. Like,
right.
And they were talking about, like, the other doctors were coming in saying that I would fucking bang that patient's heads together and drag them out by their hair and all this dumb shit. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I probably did that a couple times, but like, I never like,
oh my God,
whatever. Right. You know what I mean? And that was like, when I said that, there was a full courthouse. It's in the big courtroom and there was, I don't know, 50 people in there and people were like, oh, right? Like, and I was like, oh, fuck. Right. And, you know, there was a couple other things, like some of the girls that we hired were literally escorts.
Right.
Right. And some of these bitches fucking testified against me. I never even did nothing to them except give them a job where they didn't have to fucking sell their ass.
Right.
Right. And they came in there and fucking told all kinds of shit about me. And they're like, who is this person? I was like, she's a fucking whore. And I was like, oh shit, did I just say that in court? And they were like, oh my God. And fucking one of the jurors just started busting out laughing. And I'm like, dude, this is fucking going bad. And the guy that wrote the book, John Temple, I didn't know who he was, but he was sitting there and he was fucking looking around like he's a big guy. Yeah. He's big, like 6'5" or something. Red-haired guy. Can't miss him. I didn't know who he was, but he was fucking writing the whole time. And all this shit. And so that's where that came from, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, it was bad. And then by the time her defense attorney came up there, like I had fucking sealed my fate. You know what I mean? And he just tried to push it home a little bit. And he was like, how much time do you think you're going to get off for this? And I was like, it's kind of looking like I'm probably going to get a little more time. And it was objection and all this shit. So he wasn't like hard on me at all. You know what I mean?
Right.
He was more like, you guys were good friends. Like you bought her kids Christmas presents. Right. And he's like, what's happening here? You know what I mean? You guys were talking all the way up to like, and I'm like, dude, whatever. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know, I tried to talk to her and get her to take the stupid plea. Now she's looking at 10 life sentences. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's also had fucking 12 people fucking testify against her. Like, what the fuck? Like, why? She's had every opportunity, and so I'm gonna sit in prison for another fucking 5 or 6 years because she's being a fucking retard. Like, that doesn't even make sense.
And I already blew it.
Right.
I'm already fucked. I was honest when I thought they were gonna give me more time because I fucking went off their little script that they wanted me to read. You know what I mean? I was like, fuck, and I'm going back to the jail every night, right? And everybody's asking me, I'm like, dude, you don't even want to fucking know what happened today. You know what I mean? And so then the third day, the prosecutor re-examined me, and now he's fucking screaming at me, like reading everything that I said back. Is that fucking true? Do you really think you're going to get more fucking time? Did somebody really like scream? Like, it's bad, dude. I'm like, oh, I'm fucked. Like, I was like, yeah, man. I know that, like, this was a bad idea from the start kind of thing. I said, I was like, I don't know, man. I did what you wanted me to do. You wanted me to go make myself look like a fucking asshole, right? So I went back to the jail. I was done. He was like, get him the fuck out of here. Like, said that kind of shit, like yelling at me and get him out of here. No more questions, whatever. I went back, and then, so Chris hadn't gone yet. Chris hadn't testified yet, but the other guy, Ethan, had. I think the doctor did. I was like fifth, right? So now Chris had his father in the courtroom listening. At this time, I'm not making any phone calls to anybody. The whole time I'm at that county jail, I don't make any phone calls. I maybe call my sister once a week. I ain't got no girlfriend. The county jail phone shit, I just don't do that. But Chris's dad is at the courthouse listening to everybody's testimony and taking notes, right? And then Chris would call him every night, and he would tell Chris over the jail phone what everybody said.
Right.
Right? So the guy, Ethan, thinking that he's going to get more time off if he tells on Chris for that,
right,
goes to testify and tells in court, listen, I got to make a statement before I testify. These guys are in the jail. They got people in the courtroom listening and telling these guys in the jail what other people are testifying to, trying to defraud for Rule 35s or something like that. The court stops trial, goes and pulls all the phone calls, and that's what they were doing. So I get called back, right? And I'm not on a single phone call. Right. I don't even know anything about it. You know what I mean? And they start yelling at me about that. And I'm like, listen, dude, I don't even know what you're talking about. I was there an hour. They sent me back. And by now, Ethan's now a separatee. Yeah. So he packed his ass out, left me, separated Chris, everybody, packed him and sent him to the other dorm. So now it's me, Chris, another guy, and one of the doctors. The other guy, Chris, he doesn't know anything. He's not part of anything. He's just trying to testify to get time off.
Right.
He doesn't know anything. He barely knows Dr. Cadet. He also has his brother who doesn't know anything. He's paying other people to testify on his behalf. The guy, Drew, he doesn't know anything. So all this shit is coming out. right? That they've been lying to the prosecutors. These other people, so literally half the people that they brought back testify couldn't testify after my testimony because the truth came out. They're all making shit up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it just went really bad for the prosecutor. It made him look, people got, they call it impeached on the stand. They got impeached on the stand for lying, and fucking judge threw him out of court, right? And the trial went on like 2 months. They transferred me to a different county jail. And she was found not guilty on pretty much everything. She was found guilty on one,
Money laundering.
laundering $10,000, and to put in an immediate appeal, so she didn't go to jail.
Yeah.
And all this starts all over.
Which is funny because she was found guilty of money laundering drug proceeds, but she was found not guilty for trafficking drugs. Does that make sense? You're saying you trafficked illegal drugs and you laundered the money. Okay. You go to trial. You're found not guilty of trafficking the drugs. Then how could, because all she did was deposit money. But you're saying
paycheck.
You're saying, yeah, I
No,
deposit.
actually, all the doctors were subcontractors. They were all had their LLCs.
Okay.
So they would get cash or a check at the end of every week, $50,000 check.
So you deposited a check, and you deposited a check that you're saying that by depositing this check, because it came from drug proceeds, from illegal drug proceeds,
Yes.
that makes it money laundering. Okay, but I was just found not guilty of the drugs being illegal. So how is it money laundering? And she goes to does she go to the Supreme Court, or she appeals it? I know she.
Yeah, it was years.
Yeah, she appealed it. It went on for a long time. But she was found guilty eventually. Eventually, they found her. They upheld
like 18 months or something.
Yeah, they upheld that. They upheld it, which kills me that it makes no fucking sense at all.
Yeah.
How is that?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So they were fucking pissed at me. Pissed at me.
Well, I mean, I know that they gave like
everybody 50% off.
Yeah, everybody got a Rule 35.
50% off.
Except for Derik. Because the prosecutor was so pissed because the main thing he was probably pissed about was the fact that you said you promised me.
Yeah.
Because they want you to say, no, I wasn't promised anything. I wasn't told anything. I don't expect anything. I just want to do the right thing. That's what you're supposed to say.
And I testified to everything that they told me to say. And they were very upset. They were pissed. And what?
I'm sure. What is that? No, what is it?
Zyn.
What is Zyn?
It's like it's a nicotine pouch.
Like dip.
Is it?
It's like
I was gonna say I thought it was dip, but I was like, it
there's
doesn't
no
look.
tobacco in
Yeah,
it.
it's
just nicotine.
Why would you just take nicotine? Why would you take nicotine?
Because it's better than smoking. I go through like a fucking whole can of these every day.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
They don't have it
at all.
There's no Surgeon General warning because it's so new that they haven't done any studies to see how bad it fucks people up. It may be why I wake up thinking I'm having a heart attack every day at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We'll ride it out and see what happens.
So is there like an official reason why you didn't get any? Or it's like you just pissed the prosecutor off and it's like
they just said you're not getting anything.
Wasn't substantial.
You're not getting nothing. So they made everybody wait. The only person, this trial ended in August, right? They sent everybody back to prison, which was not great for me, right? Everybody was like, you get a time cut and this and that. And it's kind of hard to say, yeah, I testified, but I testified for the defendant, right?
Right.
But I got no time cuts or not. There's not even a writ or anything to show. I was like, listen, man, I tell people what I did, you know what I mean? And they'd be like, oh, I'm not going to fuck with you anymore. I mean, I'm not going to.
Oh no.
Okay. Uh-oh. Yeah, you have no teeth in your mouth.
Right.
Right? Like, anyway, whatever. And it's the guys that push that shit right? They're jealous of you for whatever reason. I didn't get any time cut or anything, so they're not jealous of me for that, but they're jealous that you're doing well in prison or whatever, that it's not that you have family. They're you know what I mean? But they're too much of a pussy to do anything about it. So what they do is they run around to everybody else and try to get, oh, this motherfucker, oh, yeah. And usually they're the fucking dirtiest of the dirty, right? Usually they're a fucking chomo. They got some kind of fucking fucked up charge. They fucking got down on 10 people, whacked them over the head. You know what I mean? That's usually how it is.
When did you show up at Coleman?
That was 2016. This is 2011, 12,
oh, okay.
13. So it was years. So I went back there, and the only person that got a Rule 35 immediately was Chris's wife, Diana, right? She got one immediately and went home. So we had been in for 13, 16 months. She went home, right? And nobody else got one. It was months and months and months. It was the next year. And then they filed 14 Rule 35s. And the people that, even the people that got impeached or they wouldn't allow them to testify,
right?
They even gave them all 50%. Majority of them went home, right? People with 5, 6, 7, 8 years. They're at a camp, right? When you're at a camp, you get 1 year of halfway house and home confinement, right? So they got 5 years. They've been in for 18 months, 2 years, got 30 months knocked off.
Oh, yeah.
They go right to everybody went home,
right?
Nothing for me. They wouldn't even take my lawyer's phone calls, nothing like that. I called my lawyer and I was like, dude, you like made me do this, right?
Right.
You fucking you would come to the jail and be like, do it for me, Derik. Do it for me. I grabbed him by the lapels. He's not going to lie to you. And I'm like, he's like, he won't even talk to me, dude. Like, he said, you're lucky that they're not putting obstruction charges on you. And he doesn't want to hear your name ever again and all this kind of shit. I was like, okay, whatever. And then they filed a Rule 35 for Chris George, who I told, we had talked about it. I was like, listen, man, they're setting us up to go in there in front of this judge. I hate to keep repeating myself, but you want us to go in front of a judge and say what kind of fucking assholes and gangsters and that we're not sorry and we're going to do it again and all this stuff. The judge knows that we're only doing that to get time off. He's not stupid. He's not going to give you 50% off.
Yeah, nobody shows up and says that kind of stuff about themselves. They're there trying to make themselves look good.
So when it was finally Chris's turn for the Rule 35, he went in there and the judge was like, you're proud of what you did. Like literally verbatim what I told Chris was going to happen. The judge said, but I have to give you something. So he knocked 2 years off his sentence, 2 or 3 years off his 17-year sentence, all that shit, right? But it did get him a transfer to Miami low. He was at Atlanta medium, right? So his lawyer went back to the prosecutor and was like, dude, you promised him he did what you asked, right? And the judge, they were like, I guess to make some kind of amends, they transferred him to Miami low. So he was right by his house, by his kid, by his wife. His wife got out. But still, that wasn't worth all that shit, right? And so I went back to the FCI 2, maybe another 6 months or something like that. And now, mind you, I've never even had a team.
Right. So every once a year, you go and meet with the unit manager, your counselor, and your case manager. And
they decide what your program is going to be, where you're going to work, what classes you're going to take, one thing that drove me crazy was you got to get what drove me crazy was all of those people that worked there, they looked at you like you were like some low-life piece of shit, never did anything in your life. Like, we have to get you a social security card and a birth certificate. And I'm like, why? And they're like, well, because you wouldn't be in prison if you had one of those. You could go out and get a job. I'm like, dude, I have that at my house in my safe. What are you talking about? I don't want you having my social security. You know what I mean? Just little things like that. They look down their nose at you about everything. So, but I never even, when I first got to prison, I never had one. Never had a team. So I'm at this too for a long time. Don't even realize that I'm not at the right place, you know? And I get called in there one day, and this case manager, she was the only cool case manager, named was Miss Lyons. The only cool case manager I've had the whole time. The whole time in my prison, she was the awesomest lady. I should have never, ever left Oakdale, right? I wish I never would have left. And I went in there, and she's like, you're not supposed to be here. Whatever. We never did a team. Sign all these, backdate all of these team meetings that we were supposed to have, and I'll send you wherever you want to go. And I'm like, okay. I was like, cool. Send me to Miami low, right? She's like, I'm going to put paperwork in right now. Wasn't long. Came back. She's like, I couldn't get you to Miami low, and I can't tell you where you're going, but you're going to like it. And I'm like, okay, cool. That was pretty soon after I got back the second time. It wasn't long after that, because still nobody had contacted me about books or movies or nothing. So my date comes. It's like, you know, you leave on Thursdays and Tuesdays or whatever, and they take me and just bring me right across the street to the low, the Oakdale low. Bring me right across the street. I was like, I thought I was going to like it. Mm-hmm. And she's my case manager there. And she's like, yeah, I thought you liked me. You're just going to stay here. We're the same case manager. I'm like, oh my God, dude, for real? So now I'm 2 years in. That place, it's the same exact prison. It's just double the size. Mm-hmm. Good yard, pull-up bars, dip bars. Food's all right. Again, I make another deal. Food, just doing my time, whatever. Never really had any, again, you know, a couple normal inmate to inmate bullshit fights. No problems at all. Everything's fine. Get denied a transfer after another year. I tried to go to a closer to home transfer. Got denied that. Stayed another year, so I was there like 4 years total. But right after I got to the low is when the guy about the book, John Temple, contacted me. And he was in the courtroom, and he was like, dude, I want to write a book. I want to work with you. You know what I mean? Give you something to do. You're not doing anything kind of thing. So I agreed to work with him. Then it was American Greed. And then it was a couple different shows on Nat Geo. There's a show out there that I didn't even see. I haven't even seen it, where I'm black.
What? What?
The actor who plays me in this, something to do with twins. I never saw it. Okay. Chris and Jeff's dad saw it. Yeah. And he was like, dude, you're in the show. It's, one of them half an hour National Geo or Discovery Channel or something. One of them shows that are on
like
during the day.
Fraud or sort of.
Yeah, something like that. And he's like, yeah, dude, you're in the show with them and you're a black guy. I'm like, dude, that's because literally I got every one of those shows. I almost got away with it. All those shows were contacting me. I agreed to do the book. So I spent like 2014 and 15, like all day on the computer. Like I had my schedule. I would just be on the computer with the author of the book, on the phone with them. A bunch of newspapers, CNN, did a bunch of stories. I talked to, this one, that one. I didn't want to do the American Greed one because I watched American Greed and I see how they make you look.
They always make you look bad, no matter what.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was like, if I want to tell my story, I don't want to talk to you and help you tell the bullshit story that everybody else is telling, Right. So I didn't do that. I said no to a few National Geographic, and then the HBO one, Darren Foster, who during the clinic days, he tried to do like a sneak jump out kind of thing, and I caught him, right? And he was on there. His wife was on there screaming, the big giant tattoo guy's he's gonna get me, you know what I mean? I was like, I just want to talk to you. What's going, that kind of thing, whatever. So write the book, that ate up a lot of time,
right.
And then one day after, I think I was there 40 months, beginning of 2016, I came up for closer to home transfer again. Said I want to go to Miami. 2 days later, I was on a bus to Coleman Low.
Yeah, which is not Miami.
Yeah,
but it's closer.
Yeah, so whatever.
That's when you met me.
That's where I met you. The funny thing is, one of my best friends for 20 years, who I said goodbye to the day I went to prison, when I got to Coleman Low, I walked in, and he's standing there, Ben.
Oh, yeah. I've talked to him.
Yeah?
I've tried to get him on the program.
Did you?
He's still a nut job. He's like, I don't let me think about this. I'm doing good. I don't know if I want to be. Let me talk to my family about it.
Let me, what? I think he called me and asked me about it.
He should. He would be. He's funny.
Yeah, he's hysterical. We just went and watched a national championship game. I don't know, whatever that was, a month ago, or whatever.
Ben Colby is the guy that was hooked on drugs, robbed the bank. Got like a baseball cap, pushes the bank door open, robs the bank, leaves, and then like a month later, goes get the baseball cap, goes and robs the same bank again. And then like 5 years later, he's driving down the street and he gets pulled over for speeding. And the next thing you know, another cop pulls up and another one and another one and another one. And he's like, what the fuck is this? And when they pull him out of the car, he's like, what's going on? There's a warrant for bank robbery for you. He's like, oh, that?
Out of California. He lived in Florida. He would jump on an airplane.
By that point, he'd moved back.
Yeah, he'd jump on an airplane, fly to California, rob the bank, get on a tram at the mall that the bank was in, and go back to the airport and fly back home.
Yeah, but he saw same bank twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah.
So I saw him, and he was like, I was like, what? It's been 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you had no idea he had been locked up.
And I walked out of the room, and when we got there, this is important for later. When we got there, you go through the whole. I was like, this place is fucking nice.
Yeah.
Right. Like all the food and the milk you could drink when you went to R&D, and you go and everything. There's TVs in the fucking room that you're waiting in. Everything was clean. Everything's nice. Well, you go through all the medical and all that kind of stuff, and they asked me, "Do you want to see the eye doctor?" And I'm like, "Yeah, definitely. I'd like to see the eye doctor." In 1998, I had LASIK surgery, so it was like kind of starting to fade a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Yeah, I'd like to see the eye doctor." They're like, "Okay, we'll put you on the list." That's important later on. But anyway, they brought us to my unit right before 4 o'clock count, and there was a guy with me, and they took his inhaler. You remember this?
Yeah.
They took his inhaler, and he starts having an asthma attack. We're sitting in front of the computers while they're getting ready for count to give us our cell assignments. And this motherfucker's turning blue. And he's like, dude, I gotta go. I need my inhaler. And they were like, right after 4 o'clock count, you go to pill line, you're gonna get your inhaler. And he's going, This motherfucker died right there. He was going home in, I don't know. It was months. It wasn't years.
Yeah. So they took his inhaler when he was on the bus, right, for the transfer. So he gets off, and you're give him his stuff back. No, you got to go. You'll get it later.
And they did count with him laying on the floor. I'm sitting there. They went around and did count, and this motherfucker died right there on the fucking floor. I was like, he turned fucking blue and purple, and of course they say, "Oh, we saved him," but he died.
Yeah.
Right? They prop him up on the gurney as they take him out, right? All over a fucking, what's it called?
An inhaler.
Yeah, what's the medicine called? Clenbuterol or something like that, whatever it is.
They always say that they died on the way to the hospital. No, he died sitting in a cell.
Yeah. Oh, so to go back a little bit, when I was at Oakdale, I met a guy. He was he had cancer, right? Mm-hmm. And I want to say he lived in Michigan. Right? And when he had cancer, he's a regular guy, blue-collar guy or something. He had testicular cancer. And he went to this state to get treatment, and they gave him medical marijuana card. And with that medical marijuana card, you're allowed to purchase and you're allowed to grow, right? You can grow 10 plants, right? Well, while he was fighting cancer, he liked smoking pot, whatever. I'm sure he smoked pot before that, but he took that card and had 10 plants here, 10 plants there, 10 plants here, all these different places. He got caught. He got 5 years. I used to hang out with him on a rec yard. One day, now he's in remission, cancer remission. One day he comes out, he's like, dude, I don't feel good, and I got this lump in my armpit. I'm afraid I'm going to go to medical. He goes to medical. They tell him, water, ibuprofen, change your deodorant. Right? For like 3 months.
Fucking assholes.
3 months, wouldn't do nothing. Fucking died.
Yeah.
Fucking died right there.
Remember the guy at Coleman who turned, used to hang out with him. He had red hair.
Joel.
Yeah, he turned yellow. Yeah.
His balls exploded.
Yeah.
He had undiagnosed Hep C.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't do anything for him. His balls filled with fluid. And they exploded and he fucking died.
Listen, he turned yellow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Because he turned.
I talked to his mother still.
Yeah, he turned. I mean, he was walking around. I shit you not. He looked like someone had taken like yellow, I don't know, paint or something, and paint. He was that yellow, and you would walk by him and be like, you couldn't help but stare. It was like, what the fuck is going on with this dude's fucking yellow? Like, is he painting himself? Like, this is fucking insane. And then one day on the computer, it came up, and you're scrolling, and they have the stuff that they release, and you look at it, and sure enough, there's this thing. He's dead, and they had a thing in the. I sent it to you. I mailed it to you.
Yeah.
Died, and I didn't know he died. I knew 2 days before that or a week before that or something. I'd seen him walking around. And he was fucking yellow, and then a few days later,
Died right in his bunk, B4 or A4.
Yeah, A.
A4
A unit.
So, I want to get to my eyeballs and my issue with the medical in there. So that happened at Oakdale, and I was like, damn, man, I remember them.
Was that before?
That was before Coleman.
Okay.
So I saw them. I was like, I never had to go to medical for nothing, you know? So this guy dies, right? And like, you know how they do the TB tests?
Yeah.
Like once a year, they give you that TB test, right?
Yeah.
You get the test. You're on a call out for Tuesday.
Yep.
You get the test. Thursday, you go back and they look and see if there's a reaction.
Yes.
They put it in your arm, put a little bit of, I don't know, whatever it is, TB or something
they
that reacts.
basically, it's half of the cell. They give you a little piece of tuberculosis, but it's a dead cell to see if you react.
Right. And then you go back 2 days later. If there's nothing on your arm,
you're good.
Then you're good. So this is after this guy dies, and I'm saying to myself, I hope I never have to deal with medical.
Mm-hmm.
So it's my turn to go. I go, right? Nothing. Next week, I'm on there again. Go back. I say, something wrong? Why did I come back twice? You come once a year. I'm like, okay, fuck it. I'm not going to argue with him, right? Her name was something like Dakota, Miss Dakota. She's the head fucking honcho there. Bitch. Don't want anything to do with you people, right? Third week, on there again. Go up there, say, hey, listen, this is 3 weeks. Oh my God. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want, instead of just looking at the computer and realize, I'm making it up.
Right.
I'm making it up, and it's the same lady every time. This went on like 6 weeks. Finally, I go up there and I'm like, listen, this is 6 weeks in a row. I'm like, do I have tuberculosis? Are you not telling me something? What's going on? She's like, oh, Jesus Christ. You know what? I think I remember you complaining about this last week. She goes on a computer and she goes, that's weird. But instead of fixing it, she says, if you're on there next week, just don't come. Don't worry about it. I'm like, okay, whatever. Next week, I'm on there, but I don't come. I go carry on with my day. Go do my morning workout. Earbuds in, the whole nine. Get back to the unit. Come knock on my door. Nolan, you got to go to SIS. I'm like, what is SIS? I don't even fucking, what is that? Go to the lieutenant's office. I go in there. You don't be going to your own medical appointment. You're going to have to go to the SHU. Why don't you be going to your own medical appointment? I'm like, I try to explain that to her, but they aren't listening.
No,
they don't care. Oh, no, you didn't go to your medical appointment. You're going to have to go to the shoe. Okay. I mean, do you not want to hear what I have to say? Let me call medical. Yeah, I got Nolan here. He say something. Well, send him up here. Miss Cody says, send him up here. I go up there. It's locked. You know what I mean? She comes to that little window, and she's like, oh, get out of here. I start walking back to my unit. You know, there's moves there.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not an open compound. So I'm halfway back to the unit, and I hear my name back to the lieutenant's office. I go back in there, same lady sitting there. Well, you did. Why did you go? Well, yeah. I'm like, well, didn't you talk to her? Like, I can explain this whole thing to you again. And she's like, listen, you got to wait at this time. Next time, you got to go to your medical appointments. I don't know what your problem is. I don't understand why you're so thick. You got to go to your medical appointment. I'm like, whatever. I go back. I'm like, God, I hope I never have to deal with these people. I won't go. Luckily, I have excellent constitution and health, and I do not get sick. I never get sick. The whole time I was in prison, I think I got sick like a sniffle twice until the eye situation. So, yeah, I was at Coleman. That was nothing. I hung out with you. You know what I mean? We hung out. It was fun. Coleman was, I thought it was like a college campus, to be honest.
It was. You remember my buddy Pete?
Pete?
Boy, you were an asshole. You really are.
Which Pete?
Pierre Rossini, who filed your motion?
Oh, I'm getting to that.
Fuck. Oh, God.
I just got to Coleman. That was a
Did
year
more
later.
for you than any lawyer you've ever had?
Dude,
Your lawyers on the street gave up on you?
Dude, I got you.
Okay.
I got you. I'm going to get to that, right? I want to go through this medical shit first.
Okay.
Right? So it was fine. I mean, the fact that there was like 10 men with fake tits and butts
At Coleman. There were not 10, but there were several.
There was, yes.
These are trainees.
You got Trailer Swift. You got Ariana. You got Britney Queers. You got all them fucking, there was a whole gang of them. They walk around with their fucking tube tops, and they fucking started selling the shit, fucking tampons on commissary.
It's a gaggle. They would walk by. They'd go, hey.
What do they need? What did they need feminine hygiene products for?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, obviously they don't, but yeah.
So
trying to make them feel good, you know?
I would sit there in disbelief. They would walk by, and I'd be sitting there with somebody, like chasing them around and like getting into fights and screaming matches. And I'm sorry, like, I was like, I can't believe this is happening right now. I can't believe they sell bras
On commissary.
on commissary. Like, one came to Oakdale, right? I think that one's name was Britney Queers, and had long blonde hair, and came and got on the white pull-up bar, right? He was a white guy, long blonde hair, tits the whole fucking nine, and just sassy with it, right? And I was like, I had never seen this before. And I was thinking, she thinks that, or he, or whatever,
Right.
they think that they're going to be running shit around here, and people are going to be, and I'm like, these are the black guys around here from like New Orleans, right? These are the guys from New Orleans that were shooting at the FEMA helicopters during Katrina, right? And I'm like, yeah, I don't think this is going to go well. And this thing went out and got on the white pull-up bar and started doing gymnastics, like spinning around it. You know what I mean? And I was like, holy shit. And again, the brothers, you know what I mean? They fucking zoomed to it, right? And
She had brand new, she had new within a week, new shoes.
no, you didn't see it. You didn't see it. She was in my unit too.
Oh, okay.
And we got you, girl. We got you. got her a cell. Didn't have to go to the fishbowl. Got her in a cell. And yeah, you can have anything you want. You can have makeup, candy, all the commissary you want, new shoes whenever you want. Well, you ain't leaving this cell.
Mm.
And one at a time, they were going in there. There was a line outside that cell. And yeah, she lasted a week.
Oh.
Lasted a week. I don't remember this one's name, but I saw it. I saw it like at the end of my prison sentence at another prison. But the last time, this was a real sassy one, real skinny black guy. Had like you know how the black chicks, they straighten their hair and it's real short. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's real short and combed down, super skinny, stitched up its own clothes to where it was like tight, like custom fucking clothes and all over the place, right? Funny. You know, I mean, I thought it was funny, right? And was there for a long time. And right before I left there, I'm sleeping in my cell. It's dark outside. They just popped the doors. I'm sleeping in my cell. He's like, Nolan, wake up. Look at this. Check this shit out. It's still dark. You know how they turn the lights on in the dorm and they're dim and then they gradually get bright. You know what I mean? So they were still dim. And I jump up out of the bed. I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, look. And directly across from me, there's another cell. There's two cops with flashlights. The cell door is open. And they're shining a flashlight and they're screaming, don't fucking move. Stay just like, do not pull your pants up. Fucking back out the cell to me. And
Back out of the inmate.
a guy, he came out walking face first, like with his head down, like, fuck, I got caught. You know what I mean? And they're like, come to me. Go to your left. Turn and face the wall. And they're like, you, back out of the cell. This dude comes out of the cell, a little skinny black guy, no pants on, and a purple rubber glove that they use hanging out of his asshole. Fucking glove hanging out of his asshole, and a perfect handprint on his head, on that straightened perm hair. Right? Fucking perfect hair. Everybody in the dorm, the cops are even laughing. Hysterical, dude. That was the last time I saw him. They took him away. Everybody talked about it forever. It was funny. We're back to Coleman. Told a couple of stories from Oakdale, right? Oh, back to Coleman. My friend was there, and he's like, dude, you would not believe what I had to do to come find you. I've been meaning to talk to you. Whatever. He introduced me to you, I think.
Ben. Yeah.
Yep. I was sent to dorm B2, which was like the worst. It was like all of them. It's an open dorm, right?
They're all open dorm.
And everybody's just screaming 24 hours a day. The TV room shuts down at 10. Everybody's in the TV room screaming. There's like nothing. There's no like real prison politics, you would say there. Like a couple people got stabbed in the time I was there. A couple people got splashed with hot water with baby oil in it. You know what I mean? But nothing. Everybody like got along kind of, it seemed like. And the only issues arose from the and the, you know what I mean, fighting over them and them beating up their boyfriends and all that shit. So I remember playing softball one day, and me and you had been talking. We were friends or whatever. I was playing softball one day, went back to the unit, took a shower, went to bed. When I woke up in the morning, half my vision in my right eye was gone. So it was like, if your vision's a circle, there was like a fracture through it. So I could only see from the outside. And the inside, on the other side of the fracture, it was black. And it happened to be a Wednesday, so there was no sick call. So I went to the unit manager. I got moved into that free program up into A4. That's where I was with Joel and all those guys. So I went to the unit manager or the counselor or something, and I was like, listen, man, I don't know what's going on. It's 6:30 in the morning. There's no sick call. I've lost all my vision in my right eye. I don't know what's going on. He's like, go to medical. He called medical. And on Wednesdays, the day they don't have sick call, they're doing like appointments or something, you know? So I went and I sat down there all day, through lunch, the whole thing. They never came to see me. I went back, I told him. He said, oh, there's another Nolan on the compound, and they thought it was him, so they were looking for you. I'm like, well, why didn't they just say my name?
Yeah.
Well, there's this other Nolan, he's down there all the time, and they just didn't see him, so they thought you didn't come. And I'm like, okay. So now they send me down the next day. I go, and now it's worse. So now I only got a little speck of my vision in my right eye. So I go in there, and it's Dr. Edgar Morales.
What an idiot.
So he takes me in there. He's like, what do you want? And I'm like, dude. And I have already gone through, all the checks that you got to go through, when you first get to a prison. And like everybody in that medical department there was just such assholes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They asked me about my surgery and if I ever had any surgeries. And I was like, I had LASIK surgery in 1998. Lady looks at me and she's like, that's like expensive. What, did your parents pay for it? Like, no, my parents didn't pay for it. I could go into details about me not having any parents, right? But why just make a rude comment? I didn't say anything about money or anything. All I said was I had LASIK surgery in 1998, right? And you got to bring it to like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, they're just awful people.
Yeah.
Every one of them is awful. So I was definitely nervous about going down there. So he's like, what are you looking for, fucking attention? There's nothing wrong with you. And I'm like, listen, man, I don't know what to tell you. He's like, am I a fucking eye doctor? And I'm like, dude, you're what I got. What do you want me to do? I can't fucking see out of my eye. And he's looking through my file. And remember earlier I said when I first got there, we were going through the original check-in, and they said, would you like to see the eye doctor? And I said, yeah, sure, I'd like to see the eye doctor.
Right.
This is I'm at Coleman 6 months now. And this was 6 months ago. And he's like, it says right here you want to see the eye doctor. So obviously you want to cut the line. You think you're special. So you're going to call. And I'm like, dude, it's not my vision. I don't have any vision. It's black when I look through this eye. I can't see anything. If I put my hand over this eye, I'm blind. Let me look at your eye. And he's like, oh, you got a floater. It's going to go away. And I'm like,
it's a floater.
He said something was floating in my fluid, in my eye fluid. And I'm like, dude. And now it's been 2 days. Now my eye is continuously watering, and it's like pus coming out of my eye, right? It's clear, but it's not like sweat or tears. It's like oily almost, right? And I'm like, dude. And he's like, get out of here, whatever. I go back. He won't do anything. So I probably got with you, or I got with somebody else, and we're doing WebMD over the core links, and the people are sending me things back, and it's saying you probably got a detached retina. So I start looking into stuff. I talked to one of the lawyers, the prison lawyer, the jailhouse lawyers, and he pulls up the emergent conditions where you're supposed to be immediately sent off the compound to a hospital, and number 2 is sudden loss of vision.
Right.
So now I'm going to my counselor, and I'm telling him what's going on, and he's like, just keep going to sick call every day, right? So now it's a week. The weekend comes, and it's just getting worse and worse, and then it changes. Like I'll wake up, it'll be black when I go to bed, all black. Then when I wake up the next day, everything's orange, like looking through a sun-kissed soda bottle, right? And bubbles and seeing all kinds of crazy shit, you know what I mean? And I found out later that's blood.
Right.
My eyeball filling with blood, right? Leaking weeks. I'm sitting at sick call Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, every week for like 3 weeks. Everything I can't, talking to everybody I could talk to. Yeah, you're looking for attention. There's nothing wrong with you. Well, blah, 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 blah. Now, probably 3 weeks, my eyeball is like a squished grape. Like it's not even recognizable as an eyeball with a pupil. It's just deflated white shit in my eye with blue. And so I'm in go to the chow hall, and the warden's there. And I walk up to him like, excuse me, sir. I've been trying to see medical for 3 weeks. Look at my eye. And he's like, oh, they took care of you in medical? And I'm like, no, they didn't take care of me in medical. That's why I'm coming to talk to you. And he had glasses on. He pulled the glasses off. Who did you speak to at medical? I said, Morales. He won't even let anybody else look at me. Blah, blah, blah. He's like, go back to your unit right now. Write a cop out. Put it in the mailbox. And then send me an email. And I'm like, how am I going to send you an email? And he's like, I'm on the Core Links thing. And I'm like, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't even know there's a whole section you can go and send emails to whoever you want, but they don't get it. You know what I mean? They don't check that shit. And I'm like, this whole time I am having my sister and family members call the prison and be like, dude, my brother's there.
Mm-hmm.
He can't, oh, don't you worry. He's being fully taken care of. And then I'm talking, and she's like, listen, they're just saying that they're taking care of you. What do you need, money or something? You know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, something's wrong. I can't see. My eyes are squished grape. It was 2 months, and I get called to medical. You know how that once a month an eye doctor comes. That's why it takes so long. So once a month, the eye doctor comes. And Ben actually went in and got me put on that list. He had a thing with Morales. They were buddies or something. And Morales was like, all right, I'll put him ahead of the line to see the eye doctor when he comes. So it's been 2 months.
All right.
And I'm absolutely miserable, right? But I'm just trying to keep positive and hope that I'm going to wake up tomorrow and my vision's going to be restored. So I go down there and they're like, okay, there's an eye doctor. And the eye doctor, he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's like, sit down in a chair. And he puts the thing up to my head, you know, where they to check your, and he's like, what do you see? I'm like, sir, I'm not here for that. I don't need glasses. I might need glasses, but I'm blind in this eye. And he's like, dude, just read the line. And I'm like, I can't read the line. He does it again. Read the line. And I'm like, I can't see anything. He's like, fine. You're going to make me go through all this? He pushes the thing away. I got to fucking, I don't even know why I'm fucking doing this shit. I got to fucking dilate this guy's eyes and do all, and he's like all fucking pissed. And I'm like, dude, look at my eye. And he's like, oh shit. Why is it like that? And I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. So I'm not a fucking eye doctor. I'm a learned pain management medical professional. I'm not a fucking doctor.
Right.
Not an eye doctor. Although I had doctors writing scripts, eye doctors writing scripts at the pain clinic. Right? So he does the whole thing. You got to dilate your eyes, turn the lights off, all that thing. And they fucking look at your retina. And he's like, he looks for 2 seconds and he's like, Jesus fucking Christ, why didn't you come down here when this happened? And I'm like, dude, you have no idea how it's been 2 months. I've been trying to see you. What do you mean? Well, when did it happen? I said, it happened on May 3rd. I woke up. It's now July, right? I've been coming every day. And he's like, what? Dude, it's been that long? You're never going to see out of your eye again. And I'm like, oh, that's fucking great. And he fucking opens the door and he starts yelling at Morales and all the nurses and everything. He's like, this fucking guy's going to be blind for the rest of his life. You stupid fucks. We could have fixed this with a laser in 5 fucking minutes. And now it's going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars just to save his eye and fucking blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, man. He comes back in, he closes the door. He's like, I didn't tell you this. Go hire a lawyer right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
That's
easier said than done.
Yeah. So they're like, we're going to have to get you out of here. So we're going to have to schedule an appointment, figure 2 weeks, and we'll get you to the hospital. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I go back to the unit. I literally walk right back to the unit. Coleman's an open compound, right? Sit down at the computer, go to put my password in to send my sister an email. I get a tap on my shoulder. You Nolan? Yep, come with me. Put me in a car. R&D, dress me out, R&D, bus clothes. drive me 30 minutes away to Orlando to a business, a medical center, right? The same medical center that we owned a pharmacy in.
Okay.
Right? To an eye doctor. And I go in there. His name's Levin or something like that. What you want? You want a nice Eisenberg, 11, some kind of Steen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Messing with your eyes. Maybe a Patel.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want fucking...
Morales.
Yes. Right? Okenbaduga. You don't want that. Right? So he looks at my eye and he's like, dude... He's like, you need to go to surgery right now. But I can't. He's like, how long has it been? And he's like, yeah, you got a complete detachment. And it's been, 2 months? And these fucking guys didn't. I'm like, yeah, dude. I don't. And he's like, I mean, I can't, you got to go back to prison. I need to take you to the hospital right now and do emergency surgery. You're going to go into retinal rejection and you're going to fucking lose your eye and all this shit. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me, dude. And he's like, but I can't. You know what I mean? This has got to go through insurance, federal insurance, and all this shit. I'm like, whatever, dude. They send me back to the prison. Literally, it was like the next day. I get called at 4 o'clock count to that guard shack that's in the middle of Coleman. And at 4 o'clock count, I go out there, and they're like, you're going to the hole. And I'm like, fuck. I got to get, what did I do? And they're like, oh, nothing. You're leaving. They can't tell you too much. You know what I mean? Yeah. They can't. And they're like, you're just leaving the prison tomorrow and you can't eat or drink or anything. So they locked me in that.
Right, so like a dog, they put you in a kennel.
They put,
They can't, if the doctor told you don't eat, you're getting blood work tomorrow, they don't do that. No, you put him in the kennel.
Yeah.
So he can't eat.
So they put me in there overnight, just in a cell, little cell.
Yeah.
A bunk. No sheets, no blankets, no clothes, no books, no radio, no nothing. Concrete bunk. And I always had beef with my case manager. Remember the case manager that I had that called you down there because I sent you a book? I had my people send you a book. I think I had them send you American Pain. And I emailed my sister and said, mail this guy, Matt Cox, my friend, a copy of American Pain, please. And that bitch had it in for me from the day that I got there. What was her name? She's big, fat, fucking pigeon-toed bitch with glasses.
Yeah, I remember. I know who you're talking about.
So we got in trouble because I sent you a fucking book. Yeah. I got kicked out of my unit. I got sent back.
I forgot all this, man. I forgot.
So my first day there, I had a team, right? And I go in there. She's big, fat, disgusting slob.
Yeah.
Right? Ugly as fuck. And I went in there. I was kind of like happy to be there.
Yeah.
Because it was such a nice. They're fucking growing vegetables.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is the University of Florida Agriculture Department was there teaching classes. Like, it was nice. You go take yoga classes and all this shit. Fucking all these nice sneakers and fucking radio stations. Oakdale had 2 radio stations, right? I was like, this is pretty cool. I went in there. I was happy. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, how you doing? What radio station is that? And she's like, I don't fucking know. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she's looking through my file. She's like, what are you going to do after prison? And I'm like, I build houses. What? Oh, you're going to go back to that? Get yourself put back in here? And I'm like, what?
I'm not in here for building houses.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, whatever. And she's like, well, you don't have a job. I was like, I'm good. I don't leave the $2.60 a month jobs to somebody who needs the $2.60 a month. I'm not fucking going and crushing cans all day and get a $2.60 check to my fucking commissary at the end. I'm like, I'm fine. Listen, I read, I work out. She's like, you work out? And literally I'm 220 pounds and ripped. Right? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, probably need to start working on your cardio. And I'm looking at her like, you're literally 280 pound, 5'4", pigeon-toed, disgusting thing. And I'm like, whatever, dude. And it just never, me and her never got she must have spent her days reading my emails because she called me in there 3 times a week to discuss my emails. And like, I'm talking to my friends or my sister, and I'm joking around. What you know what I mean?
Right.
Talking to girls, you know what I mean? And she's like, "You're just a disgusting person." And are you stupid? Why would you email that? Why would you say this or that? You know what I mean? Like, she was just horrible, right? So I'm in that medical cell, right? And that's they're outside the window is the fence to the parking lot,
Right.
and I'm sitting in there, and she comes out, and the counselor from A4 come out, and they're fucking making out on her car. He's married to somebody else, and he's like, it was gross. He's like rubbing, like, I was like, oh God. And I was like, got you motherfuckers. You know, both of those two gave me a hard time the whole time I was there. Always, he's the one who kicked me out of A4 because she was calling him. He was going through my emails and fucking trying to find anything. They used me sending you the book as I was sending a gift to another inmate for payment for something, and that kicked me. You know, they're just assholes. And I was like, oh, I got these motherfuckers now. I mean, what can I do? I'm in prison, but I got something on them. You know what I mean? If I ever need to. And so I sat in there all night. Next morning to the hospital. It's dead of summer. Orlando hospital's outside. Have you ever been there? The whole bottom floor is open. The outside, there's no like windows and doors and shit.
Oh, okay.
Right? And I'm shackled, black box, right? The whole thing. Put me in a wheelchair, chain me to the wheelchair, right? And then take a big blanket and wrap me in a blanket so none of the other people can see that I'm an inmate and all shackled up, and like push me in a corner in the outside waiting room at Orlando Hospital and leave me there for like 3 hours. And I'm like, I can't fucking see anything. What's going on? Two guys, doofy ass officers, just they're the guys that should probably make $20 an hour. Uniforms all fucking wrinkled, you know what I mean? Like stupid, whatever. They got a shotgun and a case with a pistol in it, right? So then they take me up to the staging room for operation. Get naked, and I'm like, okay. And I get naked, and they cuff. Don't give me a gown. I just sit on a bed, naked, sitting there. Like, there's people walking everywhere, right? There's like a curtain on this side of me, but the person in the bed right next to me is just sitting there, and the two officers are sitting at the foot of my bed, and I'm like, they cuff me, my left hand to the bunk, to the bed. This arm's free. Sitting there naked, I'm like, can I get a gown or a blanket or something? They're like, nah, you're fine. Like, literally for hours. Like, the doctors are coming in and writing on my face, and they write on the wrong eye the first time. So I'm like, what are you doing? We're marking which eye to operate on. And I'm like, that's the wrong eye, dude. What are you doing? So, oh shit. So I got to scrub the permanent marker off my face, right? And then mark the right eye. Just sitting there naked, letting it swing, right? Like, Jesus Christ. Then they come and they give you Xanax. It's called Versed in the hospital. So they give you, before you go in for surgery, they give you a shot of Versed with a blood pressure cuff on to get your blood pressure low. And then once it gets to a certain point, then they really hit you with it to like kind of knock you out, right? So I kind of like doze off for a second, what I think is a second. And then I wake up, and both these officers are sitting at the foot of my bed in chairs, sleeping. Mm-hmm. A shotgun right next to them in arm reach. I only got one handcuffed.
Right.
They're fucking snoring like this. And you know the table that you get your meals on when you're in a hospital bed? Yeah. It's on wheels, and it's like shaped like an L, and it rolls over, right? That is right in front of me with the open pistol box. Dude, both of them sleeping. I wake up to that. I'm not what the fuck? The guy wakes up and jumps up, sees that he must have been sleeping, had it next to him, and the nurse didn't know it was a gun in there
Right.
and pushed the table over to me or something.
Yeah.
So he wakes up and sees it and goes to grab the fucking table and it flips over and I catch it. Just like reflex,
Yeah.
right? Just, oh shit. I got the fucking, I mean, it's in the case.
Yeah.
And it's open, but like, there's a gun in my hand
Yeah.
right now. And they're just looking at me. And I'm like, take the fucking gun, dude.
Right.
Dude, take this gun. Anyway, they wheeled me in. I had surgery. I had surgery at like 6 o'clock at night. I went under. This was like a real serious one. They put a buckle on my eye. They fucking cut my eye open. They put they took all the lenses, everything out of my eye, took all the whatever fluid was left in there. Basically cauterized my eyeball to the back of my head and then put basically a zip tie around my eye and pulled it tight and left it in my head and to reattach my retina, my eyeball to my retina. And the plan was that in 6 months, they gave me a bunch of drops, a bunch of medications I had to take.
Mm-hmm.
And for like 3 weeks, I had to lay on my stomach or sit like this for 3 weeks. All the drops, my friend Shane, that was up in A4 with me, he helped me with the drops every day. I had like a calendar. There was like a ton of different drops. But one of these drops, I had to take all the way, I had to take for 6 months every day. And what that did was, it's just a steroid that would keep the pressure in my eye back at a 90 PSI is what your pressure is supposed to be in your eye. So, because my eye is now filled with like canola oil or something,
Mm-hmm.
right? And my body is attacking that, right? It's rejecting the foreign substance in my body. So without these drops, these steroidal drops, it's like steroids and Motrin. Like it'll just burst, right? The pressure will go and it'll tear again and I'll have to go through the whole surgery again. Everything's good, right? Go through all the medications and now I'm just on that one medication I have to take to my next surgery, which is in December, where they are going to remove that oil and put saline in my eye and allow my body to replace that saline with regular eye fluid,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then in like 2 or 3 weeks after that, they're going to go put new lenses in my eye, so hopefully I'll be able to see again. So that's what the plan is. Surgery, everything's great, everything's fine. Get back to the prison, go through all the medication, everything's cool. And I'm writing them up now. I'm using the what's it called, the remedy.
Yeah.
I
I know what you're saying. It's
you got to go through all these steps, right?
Fuck, I spent so
I
long,
forget
can't
what they're
remember.
called.
Yeah.
You got to write in order to get some relief.
BP.
BP1, BP2,
Yeah,
BP3, and the administrative remedy. It's called.
That's right.
It's administrative remedy, right? So you got to go through all. There's 4 of them, right? And so you write the first one to your counselor, and your counselor will be like, "You're being a bitch," right? He'll deny it. So then you got to write the next one that goes to your case manager, right? And the case manager will be like, this guy's faking it. He's just looking for attention. Then to send it back. And this is like 3 weeks in between each one. That's how long it takes for him to write that answer. The next one goes to the warden, and he writes the same thing. And then the next one goes to Grand Prairie. And that's where, if it gets all the way to Grand Prairie, that's when you usually get some kind of relief for it.
Right.
But all I'm trying to do is get through all those. So now, once you get through all of them, you can write your tort claim, which if they accept the tort claim, the courts accept that tort claim, then you're able to file a lawsuit.
Right.
So while I'm doing all that, I get called first to medical, right? And because I wrote up Morales, right? Wrote up all these assholes. I get called to medical and get brought into one of the administrative offices at medical. And there's a lady in there. She's like a lawyer, right? And It's not a doctor. And she has all these questions for me about what sports did I play? How many car accidents have I ever been in?
Preparing their defense.
How many car accidents have I been in? How many concussions? How many this? Did you play football? Did you play college football? Did you wrestle? Did you do all these? And I'm like, what does this have to do? And I later found out that the Bureau of Prisons called my high school to get my transcripts or whatever to see that I played 5 years of high school football.
Right.
Right. And they were doing all this preemptive.
Yeah,
so
yeah. They're
to say that it wasn't them.
Yeah.
That it wasn't the delay in treatment that caused me to lose my sight. It was the 17 concussions I had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so then I left that and I get back to my unit and they're like, you need to go to SIS. And I'm like, fuck. I go to SIS and it's
Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse.
No, was it Rittenhouse? Maybe I'm thinking of Rittenhouse.
Rittenmeyer.
Yeah. Boy, he was a fucking scumbag, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
His last name was Irish. I remember that. He had like white, curly hair, whatever. And he's a total asshole to me. He's like, dude, you asked to see the eye doctor when you got here. And I'm like, dude, that has nothing to do. You just got bad eyes, dude. And I'm like, dude,
fuck out of
I
here.
just went through a 4-hour fucking surgery. You know what I mean? I'm like, are you serious right now? We argued back and forth. He's like, oh, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't believe you. Where I'm like, fine, I don't give a fuck. Can I go? You know what I mean? And I ended up winning the BP4 that went to Grand Prairie. And they sent me a letter and they're like, we can't tell you what his punishment or whatever is going to be. But he's been reprimanded. There's going to be consequences kind of thing.
For Morales?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But then remember Grandma? Graham?
No.
The big gay guy the older gay guy, Grandma. Everybody called him Grandma. And Stormy was banging him.
Oh, yeah. Tall, thin?
Well, Stormy was tall, thin. Grandma was like fat. He's like 65, like fat, whatever. But he was like a big-time lawyer, big-time Ponzi schemer, got like 40 years, went to something in Texas, some prison in Texas. The guards beat him up. He sued, got $20 million.
Okay.
And they just took the $20 million as his restitution that he had to pay back for Ponzi scheming. Right. But he was in with all these lawyers and shit. He was a lawyer. He had big-time lawyers. And I went to him, and he had somebody look Morales up. And Morales had like 50 malpractice fucking things on him already. You know what I mean? That's why he was working at a prison.
Yeah.
Because he's just a fucking asshole.
You don't get to the top of your field and end up working for the BOP.
So then I was able to write. I won that. They just were very vague about it. And they kept with the SIS guy. I was like, listen, I just don't want to have to deal with Morales anymore. Switch me to a different RN or whatever you guys have down there. And he's like, you're in prison, dude. You do what the fuck we tell you. You don't tell me what to do. And I was like, all right, whatever, dude. Fuck you. So then I started refusing to see Morales. Mm-hmm. And that was always a problem. They threatened me with the shoe, and then they would send somebody else in to see me, that kind of shit. I'm like, I'm not seeing him. This guy just ruined my life, dude. Mm. It's not like I broke a finger. Something that's going to heal. I mean, shit, I'd rather you fucking chop my finger off than not be able to fucking see.
Right.
So at the end of that SIS conversation, he said to me, you need to stop this. Your tort claim, you need to stop all this shit, or I'm going to make the rest of your time here very bad for you. And you have a long time left. And I was like, fuck you, dude. I just kept on moving. Kept on going through the process, hiring the lawyers, all that shit. And then that's when they started drug testing me all the time, drug testing me 3-4 times a day, trying to get me to not be able to piss. Mm-hmm. And they, what did they do? Oh, then I went to get my eye drops. it's like I said, it's just steroids, right? And I ran out, and you just go to pill line, and they give you another bottle, right? It's literally like, I looked it up. It costs like 45 cents for a bottle of this shit, right? Lasts like a week or something. So Ariana is in front of me in the pill line, right? And she goes up to the window, and the lady at the window is like, "Oh, Ariana, oh, girl, just step aside real quick. Let me get rid of the rest of these people behind you. I got to talk to you." And I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is fucked up, right? And I go up to the window, and she's like, "Oh, you're all done with your medication." And I'm like, "No, I'm not all done. I know that I have to take it till my surgery in December. I have to take it, or this is going to, it would all be for nothing if I don't have this. All I need is 4 drops a day." She's like, "Sir, step aside. I have important things to do." And I'm like, "Ma'am, I need to speak to somebody because I need this shit. My eye swells up when I don't have it, and fucking, it hurts like a motherfucker." And she's like, "Just get out of here. Do I have to call the lieutenant's office or something?" And I'm like, "Whatever." And I stepped away, and I hear her say to Miss Ariana, "Okay, step back up here again, Miss Ariana. Listen, we're going to switch you to Depo-Provera." And I was like, where have I heard Depo-Provera before? Right? And I went back and looked. It's birth control pills.
Jesus.
Why do they have the trannies on birth control pills?
I don't know.
Is that fucking insane? So, anyway, yeah, they made my life hell. I beat up the Chomo in the TV room, and he was hurt bad, but nobody, the cops didn't see it. And I didn't realize how bad he was hurt until, like, he left the TV room, ran out of the TV room. He tried to change the channel on me when I was watching First Take, and Conor McGregor was on First Take, and he tried to change the channel on me, and I ended up hitting him a couple times, and he ran out of the room. And then it was right before chow, and I went out there, and I saw him come out of the bathroom, and his whole fucking face was like huge. And I was like, fuck, as soon as you go to the chow hall, all the lieutenants, everybody's standing there. They're going to see this guy's face, and I'm going to be fucked. And I told my friend Shane, who was, I don't know, AB or something, and he was like, "I'll take care of that." And he went and grabbed the guy and pulled him in and was like, "Listen, dude, you better not fucking tell, or you're not going to be able to go to any prison because you're going to get fucked up if you tell on him." And he went to the chow hall. They saw it. He never fucking told them. I mean, I think he did eventually, because then they didn't test for Suboxone. So I didn't have the eye drops, and my fucking eyeball was pounding, and it was swollen. My pressure was like 150, and it's supposed to be 90 in my eyeball. Some Puerto Rican gave me some Suboxone, and literally, they don't test for it. And like literally, he gave it to me at like 5 o'clock at night, and 4 o'clock the next morning, I'm up there with SIS taking a drug test that they send off to a lab that they test for Suboxone.
Right.
And they got me off the compound. I was gone. They sent me to the hole. I was in a hole for like a week, and they came up. I was with that dude, Lance. Remember Lance?
Yeah.
He just got out. He just maybe a year or two ago, he contacted me. He just got out. So like they do your DHO and shit like that, and they were like, "You're gone. You're fucking gone." They let everybody else stay. They got like 10 people on that sweep. Joel was one of them who died, right? They let everybody else stay, and they were like, "You're fucking gone. We don't want your bullshit here anymore." And they weren't allowed to do that because I was on a medical hold.
Right.
Right. So they transferred me to Yazoo City Low. Right. And again, I don't have my drops. My fucking eye is literally killing me. So I get to Yazoo, go see medical as soon as I get there. And they're like, "Dude, you're on a medical hold.
Right.
We can't send you back to Orlando to have your surgery." They should have they were legally bound to at least keep you in the hole till your surgery and all this shit. So it took a little while, But eventually I was in Yazoo City, Mississippi, and the eye doctor was in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, 5-hour drive. So they would get me up at 4:00 in the morning, drive me, go through the whole thing, the black box, the whole thing. And Yazoo City and Mississippi is a fucking shithole, dude. I hated every person there, every cop, every CO there. God, man, that was the worst, grimiest. You couldn't eat anything in the chow hall. It was like, you know what renal beef is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what they fed us there, renal beef. Every meal was some kind. It's like liver and kidneys and shit. It was just terrible. I hated the place. So after like a month there, they send me to Hattiesburg to this eye doctor, and he's like, "Okay, we're gonna try this." He's like, "We got your pressure back down. We're gonna try this shit out." So they do the surgery right there where they remove they just basically like stick a fucking needle in my eye and take the oil out,
Right.
put saline in it, and they give me medication. And they're like, "Okay, you're coming back in 2 weeks. If everything's still good," they're like, "Listen, don't do anything strenuous. Just chill, right? Chill as much as you can. And if you come back in 2 weeks, we're going to put these lenses in your eye and we're going to see if you can get some vision back. Something. Anything's better than nothing."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, cool. I get back to the prison. I got my little bag with all my drops and everything in it. Fucking take it. No, you don't need that. There's fucking steroids.
God, these people are fucking retards.
These are steroids, sir. No, we can't have you getting bigger and stronger than we are. This is Yazoo is a no workout yard. You can't do push-ups. The only thing you could do is, what's this?
abs.
Yeah, but it's called something.
Core?
Yes.
Yeah.
Only thing you can do is pour. No pull-ups, no dips, no push-ups. No, I mean, if you're white, you
Right.
can't. Right? If you're white, you can't. So I'm like, whatever, cool. I don't really even care. I stopped working out. I'm like, I don't even fucking care about that, right? All I care about is getting some vision back and getting to where my fucking head is not pounding. Feels like my eyeball is going to pop out. So they wouldn't give it to me, and they canceled my follow-up appointment. They canceled the one that was in 2 weeks. They just canceled it. So like a month went by, right? Month goes by, and I'm like, what is going on? And they're like, "You don't need that. What, just being assholes."
Right.
And I went back to my unit, walked out to the chow hall. I went black again, detached completely again. I went to medical. I said, "Listen, my fucking eye I'm totally blind again." Because now, with the oil in there, you can kind of like, you could see light and shadows and stuff, but it just went totally black again. And I went in there, and they're like, don't be coming in here screaming with your lies and this and that. And I'm pissed.
This is medical.
This is the
Like,
medical
this is really how they are. You've never seen people that are so fucking indifferent to human fucking pain and suffering and everything. They just
oh my God, it's fucking terrible. And so eventually, like a couple days later, they send me back. The trip again, right? 4 hours, 4:00 in the morning, and this place it's a doctor's office that they do surgery in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I leave at 4 a.m. I drive until 9,
right.
but I can't go in there until they close at 4. So I have to sit in the parking lot in the van until 4:00 in the afternoon and then go in. This is the after hours when they do all their prisoners and shit. And they do the surgery right there, reattach it, same thing. And when you go on a trip like that to a hospital, when you're in prison, you go to a hospital, you drive one way, and on the way back to the prison, they take you a different route.
Okay.
Right? So you can't plan an escape. And every time you leave, you get to the gate where you go to get in the van, and the person, they check your ID and all that kind of stuff, and they say, "Do you know where you're going?" And if you say, "Yeah, I'm going to my eye appointment," "Okay, I guess you're not going now because you know where you're going." And it's like, dude, they did that to me a couple times. Needless to say, over the next 6 months, My retina detached 5 times.
Holy shit.
So it is, and all because they refused to give me the 43-cent bottle of eye drops. So I would just be in excruciating pain. The entire 6 months I was at Yazoo City, I was in my bunk on my stomach reading a book with one eye because 3 weeks after the surgery, you have to lay with your head down like this. Just laying there. And he would go, have the surgery. It'd be an all-day fucking deal, right? Get back, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, go to your bed. 4 o'clock in the morning, they wake you up the next day and take you back for your post-op. So it'd be like 2 days. Then they wouldn't schedule nothing. No drops, no medication. Detach again, start the whole process over. So the entire time, I was only there 6 months. And I'm begging them. I'm like, listen, I'm going to medical. I even went to SIS. And I was like, dude, they're not, and SIS's answer is just go to medical. They'll take care of you, right? Somebody has, that place with Yazoo Low was pretty crazy. People had laptops. Everybody had a cell phone. They literally had laptops, right? They were doing all kinds of fucking
scams
and the dark web, and buying pills and all kinds of shit over that. Literally, there was a guy that had a bag of Xanax, right? A bag like this big of Xanax, and I haven't slept in 3 weeks because my eyeball's gonna pop out of my head, and I was like, "Holy shit, give me one of those." I took it. I mean, literally like 3 hours. I laid down in my bed, fell asleep. 3 hours later, SIS was standing in my cell. Come on, you got to take a drug test. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. And they're like, we know what's going on with your eye. We know why you took it. We're not even mad at you, but you can't do that. And I'm like, whatever. They gave me 15 days in the shoe. Went to the shoe, sitting there 15 days. About to be released onto the compound. My unit manager comes, got the little round glasses. She peers in my cell. Come here, noted. You doing drugs on my compound? I'm shipping your ass. And I'm like, oh, that's great. But, and I'm putting a management variable on you. You're going to the medium. I thought, whatever, I don't care. Just get me out of here. Now, that hurricane that hit Puerto Rico a couple years ago, 2017 or 18, that hit Puerto Rico, that destroyed the federal detention center on Puerto Rico, in Puerto Rico, Guanabo it's called.
Right.
It destroyed that. So they shipped all the Puerto Rican, I'm at the SHU at Yazoo Penitentiary, right? And I'm stuck there because they're not doing any transit. It was like 5 months. I sat there in the SHU. And they took all the Yazoo City Penn guys out and shipped them to different places. And they brought all the Puerto Ricans to Yazoo Penn and then released me onto Yazoo Penn Yard waiting for a transfer till they opened up. So I sat there for a few months and then they shipped me to Bennettsville, South Carolina medium, 2 years. Oh, I skipped over you fucking saving my life.
I noticed that.
Oh yeah. So while I was at
what happens with the lawsuit?
They keep shipping me different states.
Right.
So you get a lawyer and everything, then they ship me to a different state and it's federal. You're in a district.
Yeah.
So you have to start all over. You have to get another lawyer from the state that you're now in who has to contact your old lawyer and that old circuit, right? And it just petered out. Eventually, no lawyers would take my case anymore. Nobody would do anything. And it was like, fucked. Just fucked. That's it. And the tort claim is good for 18 months, 12 months, 9 months, something like that. So then you got to do a whole nother tort claim and all that. And I've been in a SHU 5 fucking times. You know what I mean? And eventually the last lawyer I had was like, listen, this is getting to be too much.
Right.
He's like, we're not interested in your case anymore. And then I continued trying to get a lawyer all the way till I left prison, 2021, and nobody would ever take the case again. Constantly calling lawyers, trying to get some help. And they're like, nothing's going to come of it. They're just going to roll it around in court, So, but, yeah, anyway, so I told you, I met you when we became friends. I told you my story. You wrote the little thing.
Yeah, I wrote a story on you.
Right.
One of my stories is people say like it's one of the best stories too. It's just synopsis. It's fucking 20, 30 pages or something.
So, and we were still in prison, so it like didn't get published anywhere or nothing, right?
It's on a website. But
so
yeah,
you were like, dude, you did all that stuff. I know. You were like, why don't you think that you deserve any time off? I mean, they brought you back from prison. They did all it. And I was like, well, they're not, no lawyers. I've paid about 5 lawyers, post-conviction lawyers that just take my money and don't do anything, And I mean, I just kind of resigned myself to the fact that I'm going to do this 14 years, whatever.
Yeah. So
and you were like,
Pete's there. So we have Pete. I said, well, let's talk to Pete. So Pete comes over. I said, tell him what happened. And so Derik tells Pete what happens, and Pete goes, well, it doesn't, Pete. Well, it doesn't make sense. Like, you have so many co-defendants, and they all got this, and these guys were some of these guys were proven to be lying on the stand, and they still got something like it was obvious that it's retribution, and they're angry with him, right? Like the prosecution feels like they're pissed off at him. Mm-hmm. And so Pete's like, well, give me the stuff and this and that. So Pete says, I'll file he was going to file a motion to compel, right? I think it's called a motion for specific performance.
Yeah.
You asked me to do something. I did it. You have to perform on your end, right? So
you didn't just because you didn't like what I did.
Right. Just because you didn't like what my answers were, I still testified, and everybody else that testified got something. I mean, literally, he's the only one.
Only person.
Right. So Pete says, yeah. In the meantime, Derik gets piss tested.
Gets shipped.
And so he comes to me that night, like right after he says, listen, I'm going to be, they sent off this test. They're going to fucking violate me. I'm going to get shipped. And I was like, real? And he was like, yeah, because I'm going to fail the test. Okay. And he says, come on, we just started talking to Pete. He hadn't done anything yet. And he goes, will your buddy still, will this guy Pete still file the thing? And I was like, I don't know. I'm assuming he will, yes. And he says, well, you got my sister's information, right? And I was like, yeah, Kim, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you got Kim's I said, yeah. And he's okay, well, keep in touch with her. And I'm thinking, well, you'll probably be okay. You say, no, I'm not. You don't understand what's going on. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, the next day, like he's gone. He's like, he's done. People walk by, hey, did you hear about Derik? Did you hear about Derik? No, I didn't. What do I, he's gone. Okay. So you went to the shoe, I think, and then they shipped you. And then I start talking to, Pete. I talked to Pete. Pete, here's what's going on. I mean, I know he's gone. I don't know. He's like, no. Pete met Derik. Pete spent a total with Derik 4 hours, 3 hours, over the course of 4 or 5, like a week.
Yeah.
Just 20 minutes here, an hour here, just sitting on the benches, at Stonehenge and just sitting there shooting the shit, laughing. And he thought he was funny. It was funny because he was telling us stories one time, and he said, and I'm going to say it wrong. It's not going to be nearly as funny, but he was talking about when you punch the guy and he hits the ground, you guys fucking, you're trying to get him to admit that he stole the money, right? The kidnapping.
Yeah.
Trying to get him to admit the thing and everything. And then talking about going to other clinics and taking a ball bearing, and they would shoot the windows out and shit with the ball bearings of other pain clinics. Like they're terrorizing these other clinics. And Pete goes, Cadet?
Yeah.
Cadet, he goes, does Cadet know that you're doing this? And he goes, no, we're work friends. I don't tell her what I do on the weekends. And I mean, bro, just the fucking timing of this shit was fucking, we were roaring laughing about it. But, so you're gone, and Pete's like, yeah, I'll still file the motion. And I was like, okay. I was like, cool. So he writes it up. Yes, Kim, can you get us this, do this, whatever, pull his docket sheet, little thing, like nothing, like, hey, we need
It took like 2 years.
we need like transcripts, we need,
Yeah.
so he's getting the stuff, he's putting it together, a little here, a little there, and then it's done, and he sends it off. And
I was in a hole. You sent it to my sister.
Yeah.
I was in a hole in Bennettsville, South Carolina, at that medium prison. I was sitting in a hole, for something over my eye again, right? And I didn't even have it. Came in, and I read it, and I was like, oh boy. I'm like, whatever. Well, I don't, because we couldn't really talk. This is all going off memory. Just like a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
It was basically a Hail Mary. And I didn't even have a pen to sign it and mail it off. I used one of those racetrack pencils. You know what I mean? And signed it, mailed it back to my sister. She mailed it to the courthouse. I did my 30 or 45 days, whatever I was in the shoe there for. I got out on a Friday. When mail call came on Monday, there was a letter from my attorney. And the letter said, the prosecutor is furious about
from Pete's motion.
Furious about this motion. And he said, if you withdraw it within the next 48 hours, he will knock 25% off your sentence. And now I'm already in prison for 8 years, 9 years, something like that. So, and at the same time was when Trump finally signed that bill to give you the real 15% off instead of the 12% off.
Right.
So I just got 6 months knocked off for that.
Right.
Right. And I'm supposed to be in prison until the 28th of next month.
Oh, wow.
April 28th, 2026 was my release date. This was like 19.
Yeah. So what?
This is 19. And so I just got 6 months off from the Trump thing. And then I got that letter and it was 25% off, which would have been 42 more months off. And I was like, fuck that. I want to go home right now. And I called my lawyer and I was like, dude, call this motherfucker up and tell him if he gives me my fucking 33% that he originally promised me when I tried to talk cadet into taking, then I'll be home in 6 months.
Right.
That's what I want. I'm not pulling that thing out. And he was like, Derik, you better take what you can get. And I got in contact with you. I don't know if it was, we're on a Core Links email.
Yeah. It's from through your sister.
Through my sister or something. And you were like, I was like, dude, fuck that. I want more off. Now I'm getting fucking greedy. And you're like, dude, it's fucking 4 years. You don't have to fucking do. And I was like, God damn it. And my lawyer got back in contact with me. He's like, dude, he's about to fucking pull this and tell you to go fuck yourself and bring your ass back here for court and fucking give you more time for obstruction and slander and all kinds of shit. And I'm like, all right, fine. And literally the next day, I went on the computer. I went to my unit manager or my counselor or something. And I was like, hey, man, can you check my release date? And he's like, yeah, why? And I'm like, nothing. I just want to see if that Trump thing came in. And he's like, oh, yeah, your release date is, it was April 24th of 2026. And he goes, this is 19, almost 20. And he goes, yeah, your release date is August 28th of 2020. It's like 18 months away or something. And I was like, all right, man, cool. And again, every prison I went to, I never had team meetings. I never met my case managers. It was just all these fucking assholes fucking hated my guts for really no reason. You know what I mean? And I was there 2 years at that Bennettsville medium and never had a team meeting. So it was very soon after that. Then when this happened, I was like, shit, dude, I've been gone a long time. I'm a fucking animal. Like, I'm like into the prison shit. You know what I mean? I'm not like.
Well, wait. Let me fix something, clarify something. Because here's what really happened. Because that's not exactly what happened.
What happened?
You got the 4 years off.
Yeah.
And then you wrote a letter. It was a letter to me. It wasn't through your sister.
Okay.
It was a letter to me. And the letter said, bro, they just knocked the 4 years off my sentence. What else can you do to get some more time, get the rest of this time off? And I got the letter. Not thank you, Pete, for doing this for nothing.
No, I paid you $300.
Are you serious? How much did you pay your lawyers?
Thousands,
tens of thousands. So it didn't thank nothing. No thanks. No, oh my gosh, this is great. Nothing. Just, bro, I got 4 years off. How much more what else can you guys do to get more time off? So he says that. And I was so like, not offended for me because I didn't do anything Pete did. And I was just like, and I wrote an email to his sister, please send this to Derik. And I was like, you fucking mother, I can't fucking.
I never got that.
No, you did. I know why you did. I said, you ungrateful, blah, blah. Oh, no. Yeah. I said all this ungrateful this, you ungrateful that, you this, this guy, you did this for nothing, 4 years off. Nobody could fucking do anything for you. Every lawyer told you nothing. Pete fucking got 4 years knocked off. You don't even thank him. What the fuck's wrong with you? So I do this whole thing. Then he sends me an email back through his sister. Because I sent that through his sister, and he was offended that I talked to him like that through his sister. So he goes, you send me that shit through my sister?
I don't remember this.
You did, because you said, let me tell you something. When I do get out of here eventually, and I see you, I'm going to punch you right in your fucking shit the first moment I fucking see you. I really just, and then he says, and I'm even more pissed that I'm having to send this through my sister. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's like saying that, one, you talk to me like that through my sister. And two, that I have to, my sister has to see me respond like this. Because his sister thinks he's a saint. She loves him. And I mean, she thinks he's wonderful. Like, I remember too, when he was leaving, when he came to me and said, look, they had me take a drug test. Results are coming back in. I'm going to fail it. They're going to move. And I said, they're going to move me. And I said, okay. Because we're talking about like this is like 9 o'clock. They're like, compound closed. He like found me at the last minute, like, this last time we're going to talk. Yeah. I'm like, okay. I'm like, are you sure? Oh yeah, I'm sure. No, trust me, I'm sure. And then he goes, and then he said, listen, I said, well, okay, I have you have my sister's information. Yeah. He said, do not tell my sister that I failed the drug test. He goes, you tell her I either got into a fight. You tell her that you don't know. Do not tell her I failed the drug test. I said, okay.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, because his sister thinks, oh, poor Derik. Can you believe the way they were mistreating? Can you believe that they put him in jail? Well, I've read a lot more stuff than you have. And she was kind of, no, she didn't sit through. That's right. Yeah, she didn't really, a lot, she sees everything through rose-colored glasses. And then, but I do remember I don't
remember sending you that. I don't remember that.
He was going to, it was either like slap the piss out of me or, I want to say, but I feel like it was punch you right in your shit or something like that. I remember that because I remember thinking, he's joking. Right? Like, he's got to be joking. He seems really mad. And although I've heard about this side of Derik, from Derik, and other people that have been in the unit with him when he's got angry at somebody, I've heard this, but I've never seen this Derik. Like, this Derik's always joking. He jokes about everything, laughs about everything. So I've never really seen this, but boy,
I don't
this
remember
doesn't
that.
sound good. So I went and I showed it to Pete, and Pete read it, and because you can print out the emails.
Yeah.
I printed out and I went and I showed it to Pete, and Pete's like, he's just laughing. He's like, oh, Derik, he's funny, isn't he? And I'm thinking, you've known that you spent 4 hours with this. You barely even know this guy. You got 4 years knocked off his sentence by one motion.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yep. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you not slapping the fucking piss out of me when the
tried.
first time you saw me.
So yeah, I got that time off. Now I'm going home soon. They shipped me at it. And this whole time, when I was still at Yazoo, they checked my other eye when I was going through all these surgeries, right?
Right.
And they fucking say, listen, you got a bunch of tears on that retina. So we got to do this surgery called prophylaxis, which we're going to shoot a laser through your fucking eye. We're going to strap you down and we're going to shoot a laser through your pupil and cauterize your retina, putting scars on around where all those tears are. So that fucking eye does not detach. And then you're really fucked. I said, okay. They did it. And they were like, here's a bottle of drops. You have to make sure you take these drops 6 times a day for 3 weeks. Do not miss a day, or your lenses inside your eyes will be fucked and you'll be blind again. And I was like, they're not going to give me the fucking drops.
Right.
And they're like, well, put a bunch of them in your eye right now. I put a bunch of them in my eye. We got back to the prison. Oh, you can't have those drops. You can't have that shit. So then this eye, it's been since 2018. That's when that happened. And it's been like looking through a fogged up shower door. Everything has a cloud over it. I can't see a goddamn thing. Glasses, contacts, nothing makes a difference. So I've been basically walking around blind. Can't drive at night, can't drive in the rain. Only can drive in certain conditions. During the daytime, I have to roll my window down to see if there's a car coming from the other direction or if there's a car behind me, because I can't, with the tint on the window and the fucked up eye, I can't see a motherfucking thing. This past Tuesday, I was finally able to get a new eyeball, and I can see for the first time. This is my first drive where I can see absolutely clear. And then next Friday, we're going to start and try to fix this eyeball, but we'll see. See if that one works out. But right now I have 2019 vision in my left eye.
Nice.
So
better than me.
yeah, but it's been they fucking ruined my life with this shit, dude. It's fucking hard as hell. Man, nothing worse than it. Yeah, the last 2 years was COVID, prison. So I got shipped from that Bennettsville medium to, they were like, at Bennettsville, they were like, listen, we don't have an eye doctor here anymore. And I'm like, you've never had an eye doctor here. I've never, you know what I mean? We drive to go to the eye doctor. It's 45 minutes away. It's fucking great. My brothers live in South Carolina. I'm in South Carolina. One of them lives in North Carolina. I've met my now wife by then, and she's coming to see me, right? I'm like, I'm getting visit. I like this place. It was probably the most violent place that I've been, but there's a lot of stabbings, ton of meth, amphetamines there, and it was so cheap. And I mean, I really didn't like that part about it too much, but like nobody, the cops and the staff and shit, like on all the other places, they went out of their way to fuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
But at this place, like they didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? One cop looked me up one time and then told all the other inmates that I was a celebrity because I was in a book, right? And that was like an issue for a little bit. And I'm like, dude, I'm a fucking celebrity? Really? I mean, maybe notorious or something, but not famous. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. But that was like my favorite place. And they just came one day. Like I said, I never even had a team there, 2 years. And I get a letter in the mail on Friday instead of it being on a call out to pack out. And I'm like, dude, I got like 18 months ago. I want to fucking, can I just stay here? What's the deal? And they're like, no, it's because your eye. We got to send you to a prison that's got a optometrist on staff. And I'm like, why? It's done. Mm-hmm. It's done. It's all over with. That place even got me a pair of glasses. That helped a little bit, you know? So I'm like, okay, so where am I going? And they're like, it's a low south of here. And I was like, shit, I've already been to every fucking low south of here besides Miami, right? I'm like, oh shit, they're probably going to send me to Miami. I was like, that's sweet. And they wouldn't tell me. They held it real close. I couldn't even get anybody to tell me. Usually you got somebody that'll, you know, look
Somebody
on a
will look,
computer.
be like,
Yeah.
You're going to Coleman.
Yeah. So I left there, went to Atlanta Transfer Center, and they still had me. When you go to that Atlanta Transfer Center, you stay with, it's pen and medium, camp and low when you're at the transfer center.
Right.
So they told me I was going to a low, but they had me still with the pen and the mediums. And I finally got somebody, because at this time, that place was locked down. The transfer center was locked down. You couldn't even drink the water. They brought you bottles of water every day. So finally, I got to talk to somebody, and he's like, it says you're going to Texas. It doesn't say what prison you're going, but it says you're going to Texas. And I was like, fuck. Okay, so what lows do I have? And he told me he was going to a medium in Texas. So I was like, oh, fuck, they're sending me to like Beaumont or something, right? And then I got to Oklahoma City, and they were like, no, you're going to Texarkana low. And I was like, oh, fuck, whatever. Which, that place wasn't terrible. It's just me and Texas white guys and Mexicans, I don't really get along too good, you know? They especially didn't like New York, me, like running TV rooms and shit, you know what I mean? But what could they really do about it? You know what I mean? So, and something I noticed about prison, the inmate, you should never, if this is a little bit of advice for anybody who's going, never let anybody know like when you're going home or you got something coming, anything coming, a transfer coming, right? Going home, a visit, something like that. If you're far away and a visit's coming, you haven't seen your wife or somebody in a long, you should never tell anybody that, because the people that, I don't want to say that they're scared of you, but wouldn't have the balls to step to you or cause you any problems. There's always people looking for drama. They're jealous of what you got, whatever. They'll kiss your ass and whatever, ride your coattails and all that shit until they find out that you got something coming. And then all of a sudden they're going to be a tough guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're going to step. That's when they're going to make their move. You know what I mean? Because you're like, dude, I'm going home in fucking a month and you want to fucking catch a cell? Really? So I got to fucking sit in the shoe and fucking get another 52 days added to my set. You know, why now? We've been sitting here for 2 years, right? And you're my best buddy. And now you want to be a tough guy? I don't know. You know, that's just something that I noticed about prison. Every time that I would be up for a transfer, then somebody would come with some bullshit, you know?
Did you go to halfway house?
So I had a halfway house date of, my release date wasn't 20. My halfway house date was 20. So it was 6 months of halfway house, 6 months of home confinement. That was the deal, right? Then COVID hits. Right? So it's 20. It's like March of 20. I'm supposed to go to the halfway house from Texas, August 28th. My now wife is like waiting for me. She's been waiting for me for like a year and a half. Everybody's excited, wait for me to come home. Clothes are ordered, all that shit. COVID hits. That ruined prison. You're fucking locked. You're just locked down in your unit, right? And the worst part about it was it never hit my prison. So for 9 months, nobody got COVID. So there's no recovery. There's no nothing. So you're just locked down until the whole prison gets it, right? You can't even leave the prison, right? So if you got a halfway house date or whatever, until you get COVID and recover from it, you ain't catching that halfway house date. But then something about 3 months after COVID hits, something even worse for me happened. George Floyd decided to overdose on fentanyl and cause all the riots. And what I was told was that my halfway house date had to be taken because the Federal Bureau of Prisons instituted what's called equity, something like that. and that there was several other black inmates more deserving of my halfway house spot than me. And because they didn't have a choice in committing their crimes, and I did, that they're going to push my halfway house date until November. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like furious, trying to explain this to my family and nobody believes you.
Yeah.
Right? You've made so many promises in 10 years in prison. Listen, I'm going to come home. I'm just going to go to court and testify, and I'm going to come home. And I'm just going to do this. And you let everybody down so many times that nobody even fucking believes you anymore, you know? So that was the issue. And then, so COVID hit March. I lost my halfway house date in June. They moved it to November. Still nobody at my entire prison, not a guard, not an inmate, nobody got COVID. Thanksgiving came around. I was right about to hit my halfway house date, but I still haven't gotten COVID. They bump it till March. Now,
You're going to do every fucking day of your time.
Yep. They bump it till March. And on Thanksgiving Day, I test positive for COVID. I have no symptoms, right? And you got to go. They lock us all down. All they did was take everybody that was in a unit. It's open, right? Open norms. They take everybody in there. They actually gave it to us. They got tired of it and tried the herd immunity.
Right.
So they brought somebody in with it and put them in our unit and then waited 3 days and then tested everybody in the unit. When everybody came up positive, they took everybody and just moved them to the unit next door. And we sat there for 2 weeks. They monitored us, tested us again. When you didn't have it, you moved everybody at the same time to another unit, right? And then they told us, so you have 90 days to get out. Okay? If 90 days pass and you don't catch COVID again and recover, then you have to wait till you catch COVID again to go home again. Now, my new halfway house date was March 28th. My 90 days was March 3rd. So I was going to have to stay again. And I was pissed. And I fucking actually went up to a warden, started yelling at him, like caused a scene, wrote all these, tried the administrative remedy, all that shit. And what finally worked was I wrote an email to psychology. And I was like, dude, I'm going to fucking kill you people. This is fucking ridiculous. I explained everything that happened over the time. And about 2 weeks later, I got called into my case manager's office. And she was like, you threw me, because it's her who's doing it.
Yeah.
She hates me. She's a stupid fucking, God, I hate her. And she hates my guts. She does everything she could to make my time there miserable. And she called me, and I put her all in that about her stomping her feet and her arms and going, it's my decision when you get home. It's nobody else's. It's my right to run your life. I'm like, what? I wrote in there about her acting like a child and stomping her feet and this and that. And she called me in there. She's like, you got me in fucking trouble. Blah, blah, blah. You're fucking going home. And fucking like, I don't know, a couple weeks later, they gave me a release date, March 3rd. They brought it back to the exact time when my recovery time, the 90 days, right? And so during this time, this was the end of when the HBO movie was being made. Right. So I was in contact with Darren Foster the whole time. So I was talking to him every day and emailing. I was like, yeah, dude, they're fucking letting me go March 3rd. And he's like, can I come pick you up? And I'm like, I don't think so, bro.
Could be but he is on your visitation list.
Yep. So I'm like, I don't think you can. And I put in for it to be picked up. And they were like, no, you got a 40-hour bus ride. Right. We're going to drive you to Shreveport, Louisiana at 8 o'clock in the morning. And you got 40 hours to get to West Palm Beach, right? There's going to be a bus ticket. And I'm like, okay. And I heard of people absconding like this before.
Yeah.
So I talked to Darren. I'm like, dude, I'm doing this right on the fucking phone.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, they said I can't. And he's like, what if I'm at the bus station and I buy you a plane ticket? And I'm like, I mean, what's the difference? Fucking do it.
Yeah.
Fuck it, right? So I'm all set. This is like, and then he's waiting for me outside the prison, filming the prison and stuff for the movie.
Right.
And they see him, and SIS question him and stuff. And he's like, I can't tell you who I'm here for. I'm just a journalist. I'm just videoing whatever. So the day I'm leaving, I get called in SIS, and they have your synopsis from YouTube pulled up on one of the TVs about me. Pain, is that what it's called? Pain. They have the book pulled up. They have they got all these TVs in SIS and all this stuff pulled up, and they're like, fucking, who knew? Who knew, man? We just kind of figured it out that who's going home today, and it's you, isn't it? And you're like, we want to be on HBO. That's pretty fucking cool. And I'm like, yeah. And I kind of like let it slip that I was like they're like, are you going to go with those guys? Are you going to go to the bus station? And I was like, they're like, we don't care. Go for it. We don't care. Right. And I'm like, okay. So then that bitch case manager of mine changes my release date and lets me go early, right? Thinking that she's going to fuck my plan up. Mm-hmm. But they were sitting right there at a hotel. So I called them. And I was like, hey, they're letting me go on the 1st and change my plane ticket or change my bus ticket. So I got 36 hours instead of 40. And I'm not going out of this bus station. I'm going to this bus station. He's like, no problem, dude. He's like, I already bought your plane ticket. And he's like, make sure you bring your federal inmate ID. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, with the federal inmate ID that looks just ridiculous. Like anybody could print this fucking off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get on a plane.
Yep. So they drove me. Now I was leaving. Instead of leaving at 8 o'clock in the morning, I was leaving at midnight, right? So I left. They drove me. It was 45 minutes to the bus station. And the guy's like, and I had like $6,000 or $7,000 in my account. You know what I mean? And they're supposed to give you a card, a debit card with it. They were like, listen, we can't give you that money. We don't have any debit card or something. So here's $500 and we'll mail this to the halfway house, mail you a check to the halfway house, which didn't come I was out of the halfway house by the time it came, right? So I'm like, whatever, dude, I don't care. I just want to get the fuck out of here, right? They drive me to the bus station. The cop's just sitting out there. I don't know what he was doing. He was on his phone or something. He was cool. He bought me a drink or something. I went into the bus station. I had like $500 in cash, my card, some paperwork. I didn't bring nothing. I left everything in prison. And all of a sudden, I see this big fucking SUV come whipping around the corner, around the back of it. Darren Foster came out. He's like, what's up, dude? Are you ready? I'm like, are we really doing this? The cop's sitting right there. And he's like, yeah, man, sneak out the back. Went and jumped in the back. We drove right to a mobile gas station, 12-pack of beers, pack of cigarettes. Drove me to got me a suite at a Hilton, right? Put me up for the night. Of course, I couldn't sleep because I'm in this big, luxurious bed with a shower. I don't have to wear shoes in. I don't have to wear my clothes in the shower and wash them. Like food, TV. I can watch a TV without earbuds in. He bought me a cell phone. He gave me an iPhone. He was like, here you go. So I basically sat there and watched all night. Fucking stayed awake. 6 o'clock in the morning. We're leaving at 7. Our flight's at 8. We're leaving the airport at 7. I called my wife at 6 in the morning. And like, I'm out on the phone with her for like 2 minutes. All of a sudden, somebody's banging on the door. Shreveport Sheriff's Department, open this door immediately.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm on the phone with my wife. And she's like, what is that? And I'm like, it's got to be the camera guys fucking with me, right? And I'm like, ha, ha, ha. And I go and look through the peephole. There's a whole fucking SWAT team fucking standing outside the door. And I'm like, just a minute. And they're like, open this door now. And I'm like, listen, I tried, sweetie. I'm sorry. I tried, dude. I don't know. I'm going to jail. I absconded. So they're going to take me to a local jail. I don't know when.
Right.
I'm going to be able to call you, whatever. Love you, boo. I get off the phone. I open the door, and I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like, who's in there? And I'm like, nobody. It's just me. And they're like, oh, we have an Amber Alert. We're looking for a 8-year-old girl. And I'm like, what? And they're like, they look in the room like, all right, go back to sleep.
If you sleep hot at night, you know how disruptive that can be. When you're not resting well, everything else feels harder. Your focus, your mood, even your recovery. GhostBed is here to help you fix that. They've spent decades perfecting how to build a bed that's comfortable, durable, and designed to actually help you rest. Every GhostBed mattress features premier materials, proven cooling technology, and their exclusive ProCore layer, a targeted support system that reinforces the center of the mattress where the body is heaviest. It helps keep your spine aligned and your back supported, so you can wake up ready for anything 2026 throws at you. Each mattress comes with a 101 night sleep trial and a 20 to 25 year warranty, so you can try it risk-free, knowing it's built to last. Shipping is fast and free. Most orders arrive in 2 to 5 days. GhostBed has great prices to begin with, up to 50% off comparable brands. And Inside True Crime listeners can get an extra 10% off site-wide for a limited time. Just go to ghostbed.com/Cox and use promo code Cox at checkout. That's ghostbed.com/Cox, promo code Cox. Upgrade your sleep with GhostBed, the makers of the coolest bed in the world. Some exclusions apply. See site for details.
And I'm like, holy fuck. Holy shit. So he flies me. We leave. I'm like, that was fucking crazy. When we go downstairs, he didn't believe me. And then we go downstairs and the whole SWAT team's in there, right? In the lobby of the hotel and all that shit. We drive to the airport. I noticed that everybody's wearing a mask and everybody's looking at their fucking cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's paying attention to anything, right? Go to the guard. I'm fucking nervous, right? All I have is this ID. I'm not supposed to be getting on a plane. I'm supposed to be on a bus, probably in Mississippi by now, and go through the thing. And they're like, we got to do special extra security checks on you.
Yeah.
Whatever. Blew right through it. I was back. I had 36 hours. I was back in West Palm within 12. I was like, dude, I want to hang out with you. You know what I mean? I appreciate it, but I haven't gotten no pussy in 10 years, dude. And he was like, no problem. Ben picked me up at the airport, drove me to my girlfriend's house, or she was my girlfriend at the time, drove me to her house. I got her pregnant, turned myself into the halfway house the next day, right? Again, whole halfway house full of BBBs, just made my life miserable. The whole time I was there, everybody that I came in with, every one of them went back to prison before before home confinement, except for me, right? I had a job within 5 days, was already working. Driver's license was an issue. They wouldn't let me leave. And you're supposed to get a driver's license before you get a job. But for some reason, these people would not let me leave to go get my driver's license. They were like just being assholes to me. And when I finally I had a job and everything. I had to take a day off work, and I finally get to the DMV, and they tell me that I haven't taken my DUI class from the DUI I got in 2016. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I was in prison. They're like, I don't know. Maybe it's old. I don't know what, but you got a DUI in 2016 and all this shit. Went back to the halfway house. I spent the entire weekend. It's like
Doing an online course?
An online course. Went back, and it's COVID. So you can't get appointments are like 3 weeks apart.
Right.
And you got to go to all these different DMVs. I go back to the same one 3 weeks later, and they're like, I brought the certificate, and they're like, what is this for? And I'm like, dude, I just spent like $250 and an entire weekend. Mm-hmm. Not that I was doing anything else. I was sitting at a fucking halfway house during COVID. No visitations, no weekends at home, none of that kind of shit. Got my driver's license. They kept me there way longer than they were supposed to. Finally, they let me go on home confinement. I've been working for a month. Went to my sister's house. Literally the day I got to my sister's house and my wife got off work and came there, I was looking at her and I was like, "You're all like shiny. Why are you shiny and puffy?" She was like, "I think I'm pregnant." And I'm like, "Yeah, right." And took a pregnancy test and it came up negative and left it on the bathroom sink. And I've literally been home for 6 weeks.
Right.
Left it on the bathroom sink. Didn't think about it. It said negative. And went back in the bathroom an hour later or something, and it was still on there, and it was positive now. I'm like, holy shit. Back to the store. Like 20 pregnancy tests. Just fucking pregnant. I'm like, dude, you're fucking. I just got home. Like, this is April. I got home March 5th. And like April 18th, she's pregnant.
Is it twins? Because you have two kids.
So she had the sonogram, right? And Chris George's girlfriend was over at my house, and she looked at the sonogram. She goes, that looks like 2 kids. And she had 3 kids of her own already. So, but we were like, no, nobody said anything about it. And she goes back to her next appointment, and they're like, did we know there was 2 babies in here? And yeah, twins. So I got out December 8th. I had twins 1 month early. And I'm broke.
Stop.
So yeah, but it's awesome now. Jamal and Travarius. My wife's Somalian. She has one previous kid that I was happy about because I was like, blindside.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like, she's got a little black kid. You know what I mean? I'll take them in. Blindside. NIL contracts. You know what I mean? Under the right tutelage, we're good. You know what I mean? Then I found out it was her brother's kid.
All right. You ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? All right. Hey, you guys, I appreciate you watching. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified of videos just like this. Also, if you want to watch the first part of Derik's story, it'll be right up here. Just click on that link and it'll shoot you. It's a little picture. It's got Derik in it. You click on the thing and it'll shoot you right there. You can watch the first part of his story. Thank you very much. See ya.